Oh, we're getting the countdown. You got the countdown back.
I got the countdown back. I don't
Bring the
know.
band back
I don't know
together.
what happened. So we got the 1 minute countdown and the music that will follow.
Hey, I want you to know, I was in no way, shape, or form upset at you the other night. There's nothing I had to be upset with you about the
No, I
stupid
didn't.
books.
Yeah, no, I
Uh,
didn't. I didn't feel that from you.
okay,
I'm
good,
just as
because
disappointed as you are. Like, it was a really nice book.
yeah, and I was looking more into that. I
Yeah,
still don't understand how that could actually even be.
I only found one mention of it in one forum.
That's the same
Yeah,
mention I found. It sounded like it was on page 168 of their grading thing, and it also sounds like it's related to the manufacturing, not to somebody pressing the book.
yep. Hold on, it's going live. That no music. I just pushed it. All right, brother, we are live now.
All right, what's up, everybody?
As always, I'm Dolph. This is Jason. We are Junkyard Breaks.
We are Junkyard
How
Breaks.
you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
So we were just chatting about how much bags and boards cost and bagging and boarding everything as opposed to not. I mean, it's I don't like you said though.
So the so
But just
so
having people in a show flipping through your bags and boards. I mean, a raw book, so they're just going to damage the crap out of them.
right.
It's just
So
not. It's a no go. If you're
So I don't
bringing
know
them
if
to a
we have,
show, you
I
can't
don't
do
know
it.
if we actually have anybody watching, but for anybody watching after the fact, so that we started this conversation, I guess, last week. So
Yeah.
golf is for probably just going to consign this collection, right? More than likely,
Yep.
and it was how many books is it? Like
64
15,000,
long boxes.
64 long boxes,
Some of
and
them aren't full, but a lot of them are very much full, and they no bags and boards. So you're talking. They
so
were
we're talking
hefty. So
350,
370
350 to 400 books per.
per box.
So if we ballpark at 375 and there's 65, 64,
Yeah.
you said not all are full. So for
Not all are full. So
so
let's just
let's
say that
just
the
go.
64, it's 60,
Let's
maybe.
get yeah. So 375 times 60. We're looking at 22,500 books. That's a very nice round number.
Which is almost. Actually, it's more books than I have in my collection currently.
So, so I guess for you guys who may watch this after the fact, if you're not watching live, which I don't, again, don't think there's anybody watching live.
Not yet.
But so the question is, you know, can you sell these raw without bagging and boarding them? And I would say the answer is probably yes. But the bigger question is, would you want to sell these raw
I'm just gonna close
without
my
bagging and
office
boarding them?
door. Keep talking. Yeah.
So, I think, just for S's and G's, it's difficult if you consider um, that any part of the sales would be done through eBay that you couldn't bag and board them, right? Or any online platform. So, like, let's say Whatnot Lives. Heck, if it seems like it's something that can happen for the layperson, eBay
Yeah.
lives at some point in time. Um, if those are your vehicles, you're going to have to bag and board them, right? So you would bag and board them in lots.
Yeah,
So then the
especially because we actually care about how it ships or how it's presented. That means
right,
a lot to both you and I. So yeah.
yeah, it's
What's up, Joe?
I
How you doing, brother?
what up, Joe? I always think it's insane when I'm set up at it's one thing if I'm set up at a flea market, it's another thing entirely if I'm set up at a small con or something like that, and people flip through my books and just flop them around because you guarantee that they're the same individuals who are looking at the spines like this, and like and all this stuff. But yet they've just gotten done because it's not their property. They've just gotten done flopping around 700 of your books, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and thankfully they're bagged and boarded. I actually tilt my boxes up like this just so it makes it very difficult for them to do that.
Yeah.
Um, it's I actually think it's easier to flip through the books.
I spent a lot of time consolidating. So if I sold a bunch, I will try to consolidate boxes and
Yep.
eliminate empty boxes,
Right. But you
just so
have to
there's no
leave that
flopping around. Yeah.
you have to leave that open space at least just so it's easy to flip through,
That's
right?
another thing that I wish people would do at cons. You gotta leave like 2 inches so you can see
You
the
have to.
books. You have to.
I can't tell you how annoying it is when I'm at a
Same with sports cards. When I'm at a sports card show and it's
yeah,
packed, I can't even flip. Like it's just packed.
right.
What's the point?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's what is the point? And so I don't know if that's like good etiquette or more just smart, smart say. I think it's probably smart sales. You know, I don't want if I'm at a con and I'm lucky enough to be selling through a lot of inventory. I will consolidate boxes as the day goes on
Yeah,
so that I don't have 5 or 6 inches in the short box that are empty
you're right.
because then the books can really flop.
Yeah.
To your point, I don't if I can't get them into the boxes without having like a 2 inch gap, I'll probably not consolidate,
Yeah.
or I'll try and parse them down in some other way. Maybe put them into something that's shorter than a short box.
To
Uh,
answer Joe's question, I just edited 10 videos today. I have 35 videos in the queue. I just have to upload them, but I'm trying to get a lot of videos edited and upload them all at once to answer Joe's question. But yeah, like you said, good etiquette. I've gone to a stuffed long box, pulled out 30 books, lay them on top, and then I'll flip through the box, and then I'll flip through the ones I pulled, and then I'll put them all back again.
yeah,
But I do that with sports cards too. Like you'll see me, I pull out like a big chunk of cards, put them on top of the box, flip through it, and then put them back because I'm just not down with flipping through stuffed boxes. It sucks.
yeah. I mean, I'm certainly not a confrontational person, but
Yeah.
there are people who are at my table that do that. That I will like passive aggressively, like as they move down the row, walk over to the box and like
Sure.
re.
Yeah. I've done that too.
And sometimes they won't be doing it intentionally, and they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry," like, and then they'll
Sure.
be a little bit,
Yeah.
because like,
I've seen guys do exactly what I said
yeah,
and try to stuff books into a box, and I'm like,
yeah,
Stop.
yes,
I will do
just
that."
leave them there, right? I'll rejog the comics
Yeah.
and get them in there.
Joe, I got 2 hobbies yesterday. I will be opening 2024 Series 1. I am trying to get a case of Jumbo, but that's what I got so far. I did get 2 hobbies from Topps when they released it. So I do have them here. I will open those soon. Back to the etiquette. But
Back to
yeah,
the
it's a quandary for me. Like I said, for $1, it's only for the dollar books, but
yeah.
I'm basically eliminating my commission by bagging and boarding raw books.
I mean, have you had that conversation with them though? That there's going to have to be some investment in order to
Not about
recoup
bags
this?
and boards. Definitely about grading. Obviously, the grading costs are on him.
Sure.
But not about bagging and boarding books. And I haven't really looked at it yet. I might, I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah. I mean, again, like, what's the best way to move them, right? Is if he's got, if he's got like no gaps and runs, do you want to lot those things up on eBay? And it's Marvel Team Up 1 through 75, and
Yeah, I
they're
mean,
in
I'd prefer that to eliminate eBay and just say, Facebook Marketplace, here's an entire run of Robin. Come get them for $100.
right, 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 right. Yeah, that's true.
And I'm sure I'll have takers, or I'm sure I'll have people be like, I'll do it for 50, but I don't, whatever.
Right,
There's
and
no
that
value in Robin or whatever.
right, and
Here's an
and I
entire
guess
run of
it's
Flash, and then like, okay,
really the thing is like finding out how much of it is that how much of those 22,500 are dollar bin fodder.
I'm gonna
And
say it's got to be around 80%. It's got to be.
you think so?
Yeah. Well, no, I actually don't. I'm guessing because he's got. As I was flipping through them, there's a lot of modern. I know there's a lot of like modern, and bronze.
Right.
And it's like runs of DC, which you and I both know there's not a whole lot there.
Sure.
He does have some silver, and he does have some good silver. So I gotta look at that. Obviously, I think the giant size is probably the gem of the bunch. But I gotta look at the condition first. I mean,
Yeah, it's also got to be real difficult to get any semblance of what the average of the collection is when you can look through flip through a couple books in a couple boxes and there's 64 long boxes. I mean,
yeah, that's why
that's a
my
lot.
intention, especially with the modern stuff, because they all got the barcodes on them, is to scan everything into CLZ and then like take a long box, and then I can sort it by dollar amount, and then anything that's $5 or under is a dollar book for me. Like
Right. Yeah,
five
yeah, yeah.
bucks is basically cover price, so it's a dollar
Sure.
book. It's if you're saying that's kind of how it works with value. If you're saying it's worth $5, you're basically saying it's worth the price of the $4.99 that the book is valued at. Like
Right.
so it's a dollar book and it's not
Yep.
worth anything.
Yeah.
And then I can go through. I can even sort it by what's key, what's mega key, and whatever, and just pull those out and put them in another box. And I got a key box going, and then I have a dollar box. So as I go, I can just move things around in CLZ and just say these are dollar boxes and these are key boxes.
Right. I mean, you could even price them by, or you could even do them by price, right? Five and less are all dollar boxes.
Yep.
Five to, let's say, five to fifteen
Yeah, I
dollars.
might even do it. I don't know if you did it, but Jimmy certainly did it with the colored stickers. I would probably fold them over the top so I can get a good look of all the colored stickers. But I
Yeah.
mean, that would probably be a good way to just look at everything really quickly.
Yeah. Generally speaking, with all my dollar books for the con that I'm doing next week, it's really kind of uh, anything that's really like $8 or less are just going to be in the dollar box for me.
Yeah, that's kind of it too. I mean, an $8 book that has no key anything, it's a dollar book. Like nobody cares about it. It's you just
Yeah.
gotta move them.
I look at it a little different than nobody cares, but at the same, yeah, I get what you're saying. Like it's
Well, then
more
like
just like
somebody's filling in a
it's
run
gonna be
or really
run
likes the
fillers.
story,
It's gonna be people reading story arcs and
Yeah,
stuff like
I
that,
mean,
right?
I've
Yeah,
sold a lot of dollar X-Men books just because they like X-Men. Same with
right.
Spider-Man. Same with Thor has been popular again, and Strange had a spell where he was really popular. But
Yeah,
like
I honestly, God, don't know that unfortunately at this point in time, I don't know that I'll put any Spider-Man in dollar bins. Just
no,
because
me
I can
neither.
sell that,
Yeah, no, never. Even
well,
X-Men's kind of there, especially with the release of X-Men's going to be joining the MCU plus the
yeah,
cartoon. Like there's some excitement. I always had a lot of people that loved reading X-Men. It's kind
yeah,
of relevant today, as it more today than it ever was with just
sure,
equality.
sure.
X-Men is the most relevant book there is. But anyway, I mean, but I can't say the same for DC. I mean, even Batman, unless it's Silver Age Batman, nobody wants modern Batman.
Yeah.
Nobody, maybe a couple of new 52 books, you
Even though
know.
there's some great artwork, some great story arcs in
Yeah,
there too.
definitely. I mean,
Um,
it's all Jim Lee stuff. Most of it is. It's really nice.
yeah,
I actually on Goodwill just yesterday I picked up the entire Hush run for $20.
it's crazy.
Yeah, it was Hush 1. Was it 608, 609, 609, 610? 608, 609, I think. But it's the Hush it's the first book.
Yeah,
Then the second book is the first Tommy with the Ivy cover. I think I got 3 of them. So it's the first 3. And then it was Batman 1 with New 52 Batman 1. So that one's a good one too. Not
yeah,
quite Court of the Owls yet, but close.
yeah. So I mean, yeah, I agree. It's just yeah. So it
Dollar
is
books are tough.
yeah,
And that's the stuff, it's like, when I had what's his name, James, come over. I mean, he valued my collection a lot more than I felt it was, but
mhm,
he bought it for me for $700, and he said it was worth 4,000. I said, good luck with that. Since I've had them at an entire year at the flea market, I couldn't sell anything out of there. So good luck getting 4 grand, but I'm happy I got whatever it was, 600, seven
yeah,
hundred for the whole thing. So
sure,
I was fine with that. I threw some keys in there just to make it tasty. I threw the first Lobo in there. I threw some other books in there just to make it nicer.
hmm
But nothing crazy.
yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah, I am making the I'm my bins will probably be well, my bins would be the most organized dollar bins I've ever
Yeah,
seen. Somebody's
they
bins.
certainly will be.
So they will be as easier for people to find bulk groupings, and I have had that at several cons where people buy tons of runs, and so
Yeah.
why not for me make it as easy as possible and make it as
Excuse me. Yes.
enticing as possible, right?
Definitely.
So, I mean,
Especially if you have the like, buy whatever, get whatever free. People are more,
yeah, mine
apt
are
to
going to
buy
be
runs.
buy 10, get one free, buy
Buy a
25,
hundred, get
get
100 free,
yeah,
whatever.
mine are buy 10, get one free, buy 25, get five free, I think. And
This is
then
also where you don't even have to discount it on your own. I mean, you certainly can if you want to, but the discount's there. Just, you say to somebody like, if you grab another dollar book, it's free.
it's free, right?
So
Yeah.
like, just do yourself a favor. Just buy 10, and then you
Yeah.
get the next one for free. If a
Yep.
guy's got like 9 or 8, just pick two more. You get them.
Yep.
Basically, you get them for free.
100%. Then I don't have to break ones more than likely either.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or
Just
break 10.
get to those milestones. Get to 10 books. Get to 20 books. Whatever. Then
Yeah, I bought a bunch of boxes. I think I'm doing buy 100 get 25 books free, kind of
yeah,
thing.
for
Like,
sure. Of
and if
course.
they picked out 130, then they'd get 30 books free. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
gonna nitpick.
Yeah.
But I had gotten some. I've been saving cardboard boxes anyway, and then I got some of the boxes um at Staples when it was like, buy five get five boxes free kind of
Yeah. I
stuff.
like those too. If you buy over 10, it's like 99
There's
cents.
65 cents a piece or something. So
I
I'm
don't know
gonna
what made me check, but you're still scheduled for grading.
what's that?
I said I don't know why. I just checked real quick. You're still scheduled for
Yeah.
grading. It's vintage. You knew that was going to be.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous because it's
It is
like
ridiculous.
when you look at their stuff means nothing, right? Like their timelines really are meaningless,
Well, you
They
just feel like they throw all the rookies on the modern stuff just because it's a lot easier to figure. Well, now 9-9's in the game. That changes everything. But it's a lot easier to say 9-9, 9-8, 9-6, 9-4. Like, it's just
or
one
or
thing
or
here, one
7-0,
thing here.
7-0, 7
Yeah.
7-0 with ink distortion.
We'll
So
we'll we'll get into that when they arrive. I'll probably get them on Monday or Tuesday, but yeah, that's a load of BS. That'll be good and good. I don't know. I really don't know. I've never heard of that before in my life, but we'll get into it when they arrive.
but yeah, anywho, I guess until you really get into them and until you decide how you're going to move them, it's difficult to say, right?
I'll have you here, and we'll look at them. I'll
Yeah.
grab a good because I know I can fit 15 boxes in my truck on one trip, so maybe we'll do that and go through 15. I can even what can I do? I could probably install the CLZ app on my iPad too, and you can scan stuff in while I'm scanning stuff in.
Yeah, I'll have to we'll just have to make a time because
Yeah,
I
we'll
have
figure it out.
so much time off of work. You
Yeah,
probably want to wait till the weather gets a little nicer
I
just so
do.
we don't have to deal with that crap.
Yeah.
Um
Plus, it'll
but
it'll get me right into a huge garage sale. I
yeah.
think that whatever we come up with, even if like I said, even if it's 15 long boxes, that's a good chunk of long boxes to have a garage sale with.
Oh, sure.
So I think that'll keep people occupied.
Well, if our sale that one summer was any indication of the ability to get people in, we certainly had enough people visit that day.
Yeah,
It was
we
just
had some
so
good foot
hot.
traffic.
It was so hot that
Yep,
we didn't do a ton of business, but we're getting people. We were getting people off the street, and
definitely.
you only put the sign out that morning. So, and
You
I think
did.
I only advertised on Marketplace like the night
Yeah.
before, which means it didn't even get approved
Yeah.
most of the time. So,
That's another thing. I don't know how people. I guess as soon as they're set up, they post it on Facebook Marketplace because how do you post? I mean, I guess I could just post long boxes and have keys hanging out or whatever to make some people interested and try to get into many of the groups as possible. I mean, I can always tell Eddie and Street Side.
yeah, yeah. Well, so what I'm finding is like a lot of them, if you're posting to groups, you have to do it in advance because they're not going to approve that. They're not automatic
Yeah.
approvals.
Yep.
And so, like, even if you post, like, let's say you post 2 nights before, they don't necessarily get approved for posting. And so you're screwed, right? Like,
Yep.
because it's not actually a live post at that point in time.
Yeah.
So, so I think the one time we did it, it didn't go live until like midway through the sale. And then
Yeah.
what is the chances you're going to
Because
get
I
anybody?
had some guy come who was really into movie posters, and he just showed up like as I was packing up. I pulled
Right.
him back out. I was like, "Yeah, go for it, man."
Yeah.
He bought some of the heavy hitters. He bought my Friday the 13th poster, and he bought some really good ones, some good vintage horror.
Yeah,
So
I
that
almost
that that made it worth it right there. He spent like $300.
right. And I almost feel like you need to post like a good week in advance to at least
Yeah,
get
I
on
think
people's
you're right to
radars,
get some juice going.
Yeah. So there's that too,
There's
just making
that.
sure that
There's
strategic
that,
about
Jason. There's that.
there's
There's
that.
that.
Just being strategic and get people kind of excited about it, you
Yeah,
know.
I know. All right, well, let's get into mail call. Did you get anything?
I did not get squat. I've
You
been
didn't get
trying to get.
anything?
I mean, I'm trying.
I know you're trying.
I
All
live in a
right,
desert. I live in a comic book desert.
I got all my comic link stuff in.
Yeah, I've been trying to buy new stuff
I got.
for the con. That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we did all right. All right, let me.
Now these are all from Heritage. They're all from Comic Link.
Comic link.
Okay.
They just ended their big sale. Actually, you know what? I should go get the receipt so I can tell you how much I paid for all these too, because that's relevant.
Joe, are you still on? Did you have you ripped any 2024 products yet, or have you had any big pulls of late? Before we went live the other week, I tried to guess every card that was in Dolph's case behind his head, which was hilarious because there was a stark glare on the case at one point in time. But
What's
I
that?
think I was just talking to Joe and telling him that I tried to guess every card in your case.
You did really good. In fact, there's one new edition that you haven't seen,
Wow.
and it is right there. That's the 57 Barra that I bought at the
Okay.
last
Yeah.
show.
Well, so you showed me that. Yeah.
You did see that one?
Yeah. Well, you showed it. You
Oh, right,
text me.
right, right. Yeah, I
And
think that's the
I would
only.
get that. I would either guess Barra or Koufax based on the ears
Yep.
you see, but I would get Barra, yeah.
Yeah, I think you would have got it, and you probably would have got the 57 because it's a very unique. Oh, did it? Did I
'Cause
show you? I
that's
got
a
the
Koufax
57
two.
mantle too. The
That's a
Koufax is next
Koufax
one,
two
but
to his
that.
right.
Did you see the 57 mantle?
Yes.
Okay, you saw that too.
Because you sent me the pictures of the from the show.
So and the Uncle Rico.
Uncle Rico, right?
Uncle Rico. That's a great card. I love it. All
Now
right, so
that's one of those books that's one of those that's top loaded already, right? Because the leaf
it's
stickers over
leaf,
the
so it's
top. Yeah.
sealed in a one touch, yeah, with a sticker to seal it. I also have one for Charlie Sheen, Wild Thing Vaughn. I have
Oh,
kind
that's
of
cool.
the same company, but it's just as cool. That's pretty awesome. All right, so first one I got Amazing Spider-Man number 36. This is the 9/11 issue.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, this one's cool. This
That book
one
is real tough, right? Like,
yeah, yeah, I can imagine with the all black cover. So 9/4 is pretty nice.
I
This
can't
one,
say that I've ever seen a 9/9 like at a show, or 9/8 at a show. Like, I can't
no,
say that I've ever
no,
seen a 9/8.
no.
You don't see it that often in general.
It's white just shows up so easy on one of the corners, and then you're done.
And I
When are you
imagine
going to sell me that Clemente? Which Clemente is Joe was talking about? Oh, it's the tops, the 2024
no, he wants the
Project 2020.
Project 20, yeah,
Yeah.
Project 2020, right?
Joe, I'll look at it. I'll sell it to you.
This is week two that
I'm not married to it, so
Joe's
yeah.
beating you up about that Clemente.
He wants that Clemente.
You better, he's coming hard.
All right, so I spent $40 for this.
That's great.
Good price. Next, this is one that I never had in my collection, surprisingly. It's the ASM 601, the The J. Scott Campbell.
Oh wow, okay.
Never had this. I know it's a 9.0, but I don't care. I just wanted the book.
I am shocked at how expensive that book
I
is.
know, me too. That's why I was kind of at 9.0. I bought this for $100. I mean, that's crazy.
I literally looked that up the other day. Raw near mint is like a buck 70 or something crazy like that, you
Yeah.
know? I was
Yep.
like, holy crap.
Yep. Take your shots getting that one graded. You know. Then this one is just a personal buy. It's Darkman #194. It was only $30. But I love Darkman.
Very cool.
I'm a big Sam Raimi fan. Darkman's a great movie. Have you ever seen Darkman?
I'm sure that I have, but
It's
it's
with
been a
Liam
long time.
Neeson.
What year? That's got to be from what, 89 or 90, something like that?
90. Good guess.
90, yeah.
And it's a newsstand. I don't know about newsstands in 90 though. I guess it's kind of they're phasing out, but not too bad.
Well, 90 would still, they're certainly way scarcer than,
Yeah,
80, 85, but,
definitely.
it's not like a 98 newsstand or something like that.
Yep. This is a Spectacular Spider-Man First White Tiger #9. I got this
Yeah.
for $26.
I have a really good copy of that I got at the flea
Dude.
market for like $4.
It's kind of a minor spec too. They're saying White Tiger, they might do
Yeah.
something with him. White Tiger is technically the first Latin American superhero,
Yeah.
which is bonkers because this came out in what,
Well, that's
77?
yeah, I was gonna say that's a spectacular book.
Yeah, and like I'm just saying as far as like color barriers go, like, well, I mean, the Native Americans are in. I guess the first one would be giant size,
Uh, I suppose,
and
but I
then
mean,
obviously, Black Panther's Black Panther in 60,
I mean,
65.
it's hard to say. They're like our, what, in terms of a positive depiction, right? Like I'm certain that there's,
Right. Yeah,
yeah, all the
you're right.
westerns.
Yes, that's a good call. All right, 9.6 Mask One. We love this.
I,
I had my eyes on this one for a while. This was $30.
I sold that raw. Mine was probably a 9.6.
You think
I
so?
sold 1 through 4 or 1 through 5 or whatever raw.
This is yours. No, I'm just kidding.
Somebody spent $30 to get it
Yeah.
graded, and you bought it for $30.
All right, let's get through the minors first. That one's kind of minor. That's a huge one. All right, so this one is. Yeah, this was super cheap. I got Secret Wars 1.80, and I got this for $20, $21 actually.
Now, is it pretty obvious what makes it an 8.0? Is there spine teeth?
Yeah, I could actually break it out of here and probably press it and get a because it's just got a curl on the top
Uh-huh.
and it's got a ding right here. I most definitely can get both of those out if I wanted to, but I only have $20 into it, so
As we know, you can't make a 9.6 a 9.8 of that book, even if there's no discernible flaw.
dude, I don't. Unbelievable, right? I, I, I don't know. I don't know where the flaws are. All right, this was a favorite of mine. I've always wanted this one. It's Swamp Thing #7, 9.2. This is the first Swamp Thing meets Batman. I love this
What a
cover.
freaking bad cover.
Yeah, I love
That
this
is
one.
what Wrightson does 1 through what, 9 or one
I
through
think so, yeah. But I mean, Wrightson doing Batman versus Swamp Thing. That's so cool. I
what
got
cool
this
colors too.
for. This was 150.
It's just such cool colors. That
It's
brick
such a cool,
red.
yeah, I love this one. It's such a cool book. Yeah. All right, that's that. Now we're getting into some rare air.
So now, is that a good price? Do you feel is that
I always look at the fair market value, and
Okay.
I place my peak underneath at least
Okay.
15% under fair
Okay.
market value. So if this thing I spent 150, it's probably like 180 fair market value. I'm guessing, because that's what that's what I always
know those
do.
are tough.
I place my maximum bid and don't look back, because
Yeah.
if you start playing that game or like, oh, I want it, like
Yeah,
another
who
one
bid.
will show up. I'll get one day if I don't. So I got New Mutants 16, which I have tons of in a 9.6, but It's the Canadian price variant.
Oh, that's cool.
So I did, just because it's the Canadian price variant, I thought it was a good buy. It was only $32 for a 9.6 Canadian price variant, which are, rarer.
Right.
And the same with this one. I got it's First Legion, New Mutants 25, bless you, 9.0, also Canadian price variant. This was $16.
Great Sienkiewicz cover too.
And it's a great Sienkiewicz cover, yeah. I mean, $16 when you're buying slab books for under the grading fees and they're over an 8.5, why not, right? All right, so now we're getting into some of my. I love these books. Journey into Mystery 102 in a 5.5, triple threat here. This is first Sif, first Balder, first Hela, triple threat.
Wow, first Hela.
First Hela, first Sif, first Balder. This is a big one. Nice.
And what's the 5.5? I mean, it's tough to see through the
off white to white.
No, like what is the major defect? Just creasing and stuff. It's hard to see through the bag.
It's got some age wear.
Yeah.
It's got some Marvel chipping. I mean, it's definitely. It's got a stain on the bottom, which will probably, no matter what I do with a presser or clean, that stain will keep it there.
Yeah.
They're tough on stain.
The gym covers are pretty rad.
Yeah, they're really good. And now this one, I know you said I had that one. I could have just sold you mine. Brave and the Bold 157 6.0 first Metamorpho.
That's cool.
And Gunn's gonna do him right. So between Metamorpho's a good character for him, so hopefully he does him well. I might just I bought this to flip it in a year or maybe two, but yeah, I think this will be a good one to flip. 6.0.
Yeah, for the time being, it's a good one for your PC.
Yeah. All right, now the big boys. I was lucky enough to knock off 3 of my grails in one auction. I really, I'm super happy. I have been looking for this book for a long time, and it's very hard to find one. They didn't print a lot of them, and this one's an 8.5. That's fine. I don't need a 9.8. It is my favorite comic, and to get the first one is it's good for me. I got an 8.5 Invincible #1. This is it's low printed, and even this was $400.
Now, what makes it an 8.5?
That's a great question. There is some issues in the corners. Both the corners have some it's like crunch and some white.
I'd imagine that's a good time. What is Invincible from? 2000 what?
3.
So I'd imagine that's prime color rub time too on some of those.
More on the back than there is on the front. There's a bit of color rub on the staple. There's some blue, whatever was in front of it.
Yeah, you see that all the time.
There's a couple
it's probably the back of the previous issue. Is that blue back?
This is a blue back. So if these were even stacked while they were shipped,
that's probably what it is. Yep.
Yeah, you can definitely see some stuff going on in the top corner and both top corners. So
that's awesome.
Definitely deserves its 8.5, but I've wanted this book for a long time. Silly me though is can I get a 9.4, a 9.6? It's not. It's for me. It's not for what you know what I mean? Yeah. It is definitely one of my favorite reads, and I'm really happy to get.
I feel like Invincibles are probably like those late like those 150 to 275 Spawn issues. I feel like the people who have them are huge fans, and so that's why you just don't see them that often.
Yeah,
because they're scarce. They're not crazy scarce, but you just don't see them that often.
Plus they reprinted one a lot. They got so you have the Larry's reprint is the first major reprint, and even those go for some decent money. I don't know how many they made, but they recently reprinted it again for the anniversary, and I think for the TV show. So, yeah, it's the #1's been reprinted a bunch of times. So, I don't know. I guess that makes it a little less desirable, just because if you're a reader, you don't really need the 1/1.
it is funny though, because it's like it's not the world's greatest cover.
It
It's got
isn't. It's not a good cover.
that weird background,
Yeah,
but like
it's a whole lot of a Rocky thing. It's just
yes,
rock.
yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, all right. So two more left. Obviously, Amazing Spider-Man 14. This is the one big gap in my run. I'm so happy to finally get First Goblin. Like I've wanted this book for a long time. This is a
Actually,
big,
pretty cool grease pencil up there in the corner too. That's
yeah, right
six.
over the comic code.
Authority.
But yeah, it's it presents well too. It has decent eye appeal. A little bit of a spine roll and some tearing, but I don't care. This is like when you get into these rare air books, like I'll take whatever. You know me, I've always kind of dabbled in the 3 to the 4.0 range anyway for the Spider-Man keys. I wanted the run, and I didn't want. I figured later on in life I can maybe upgrade it,
Sure.
but I'm totally happy with that. I bought that for $1,010. Yeah, for a 2.0. And I know because I was hunting for one at Comic Con 2 years ago that 1.0s were going for 1,500 back then,
Yeah.
almost 2,000. So yeah, I'm glad the market came down and I can snag one of these
Yeah, there's
things.
been a slight chill out, but
Slight chill out. So it benefits us as collectors,
yeah.
not so much as
I
users.
honestly think this is just a this is like anecdotal. I really haven't like dug in the numbers, but I am seeing a lot more people collecting Ditko now.
Hmm.
So like are starting to see those kind of
It's
like
like what you're seeing with Dave Stevens
but
or
yeah,
Dan
the
Dan
Dave Stevens
Dave
stuff is
Stevens.
crazy popular.
It's crazy popular. All of a
And
sudden, like
and
his
there's so
documentary
many
came out, and
oddball
they're.
books.
I mean, it's good that he's got a bit of a renaissance. I think Wrightson kind of had that 3 years ago, but it's nice that Stevens has this kind of renaissance. Sadly, he's passed, but now his work is really appreciated. I
Yeah,
mean, he was a slow worker, so he's not prolific, but what he
right.
did is solid.
Right.
Um,
And there are so many oddballs too, right?
yeah,
Like that's the kind of thing if you're a collection buyer and you get a big I, you know Barry Gary got that one giant short box collection that he worked through in like 12 videos, and there was a lot of stuff
yeah,
like a lot of
like that.
80s 90s stuff, and I think he got a bunch of those Stevens covers,
Yeah,
like
they're
um
fantastic.
Yep. Yeah. Well, he got the Crow books and stuff like that too in those collections. Did you see that video?
Yeah, yeah,
Erod did some work, and the Crow came back 9.8. Crow one came back at 9.8.
yeah.
Crazy.
It's crazy. All right, last but not least, you ready for this? I'm so happy with this, man. You have no idea, like how long I've been looking for this book, and you just can't get them. Like, so it is qualified, and I'm fine with that because it's the same as, well, not the same as the value stamp missing from a 181. These had inserts. It's missing the insert. It was a sticker sheet, which the sticker sheets go for almost as much as this book did. But I
Okay,
got
now I remember.
a 2000 AD number 2. This is the first appearance of Judge Dredd.
Dang, the color is amazing on
Oh,
that.
dude, it is beautiful. It's only, I mean, it's a 7.0 qualified. It's really nice.
Why does it get the seven? That's newsprint, and it looks like the only thing is like
Well,
some
it's so because it's
yellowing.
newsprint.
It's yellowing, right?
It's got a bit of like black, like dirt. It's kind of all over the place where it's a little dirty. I'm sure it could be cleaned up, but I'm not playing with this. But yeah, so it's
That's
missing the
awesome.
stickers, the biometric man stickers. There's a sheet of them that usually went right in the middle. It kind of floated. It wasn't attached, but they're not. They're not with this book. But yeah,
So, what kind of a slab is that? Because it's not even a magazine slab. Because there's like
it's
almost
kind. I would say
no
it's
well.
almost a treasury slab. No, no inner well. I would say it's close to a treasury slab, but treasuries are huge. I think even treasuries are bigger than this, but it's a good size,
That is cool. That's very cool.
dude. This one makes me even happier than the Goblin. Like I've wanted. I'm big into UK. I had a huge thing for Tank Girl, but I ended up getting like three number ones. Like I
Right.
got a lot of Tank Girls, but that one has eluded me because it just you couldn't get them, and they were. I mean, anything Blue Label is multiple thousands. Like you just can't get them.
What year is that? It's got to be what, 80, 81, something like that?
It is 77.
So, 77. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yep.
and is does Bolin do them when it's newsprint, or does Bolin not start until the Eagle run?
I don't know. I don't know. This is Mike McMahon art.
Okay.
Peter Harris and Pat Mills story and Mike McMahon art.
And 2000 AD was a weekly newspaper
Every Saturday. It says it
strip,
right on
right?
the front. Came out every
Okay.
weekly,
Okay.
every Saturday. Yeah, that's a cool one, man.
It is cool.
That's a
Yeah.
really nice one to have in the collection. Like that one to me, I love those like indie, those special indie books. That kind of ranks up there with TMNT one. Like it's just how something like that just spits out a major character like that. It's just so cool.
Yeah, I think just the whole concept is cool, right? Like
Or 2000 AD as a concept,
like that just like
or Dread.
the no, I mean the like the underground, like
Yeah,
that
totally.
stuff is really just kind of cool. Like
It is cool.
and if you think about it, like everything came from nothing at some point in time,
True. True.
um there's these established entities, right? Like Marvel, DC,
Yeah.
and somebody like Eastman and Laird, or somebody like the publishers are like, you know what? Well, we're the little engine that could, and
I mean,
like,
there are many. Grant Morrison's got a good one. Garth Ennis has a good one. Even what's his name? Alan Moore's got really good documentaries on how the UK comic community just came up with so much cool stuff.
yeah,
And I definitely recommend a lot of those documentaries, especially the Grant Morrison one, because that dude is just so heady. He's nuts. Like him. Well, Alan Moore's pretty friggin' nuts too. Like
yeah,
his whole thing is not just about comics; it's about the occult and all that. And
yeah,
Garth Ennis's documentary is also really good. But yeah,
yeah. I mean,
they're all. Did Ennis do Transmetropolitan?
uh,
I think maybe he did. I don't know. Either way, like I highly suggest if you're into that indie comics, those documentaries are so good.
yeah. I mean, I just like I said, I think all that stuff is super cool. Like you said, to create something that's like a that becomes a cultural kind of touchstone, like is just pretty bad. I like watching the documentary about Industrial Light and Magic, and you
Yeah,
see like every one of those guys was just a kid with a giant imagination that like messed around with Super 8,
yeah.
and like figured out, like, just in their room in the 60s, figured out like they could scratch the film and make it look like a laser beam or something like that,
Yeah.
just that kind of stuff. I
I
just think that's
know
so cool. I mean,
he did.
Jimmy and I were lucky enough to print some shirts for the fella who's you know given credit for coining the phrase punk, from punk rock,
Yeah.
and they started one of America's really early fanzines, and that was called Punk, and that predates everything, right? And it's just kind of crazy that
Oh, I misspoke. Not
what's that?
Garth Ennis. Warren Ellis.
Warren Ellis.
I always get those two confused. Warren Ellis is Transmetropolitan,
Transvestite.
and yeah,
But yeah, those things just are pretty cool, pretty interesting, right?
yeah,
That
yeah. The
that's
origin stories,
Yeah, the
they're
origin stories. Yeah.
fantastic. How things just become.
That I think we talked about it before, but there's that episode of Antiques Roadshow with the actor and famous Latin
Oh yeah.
musician.
Um, shoot. Oh my God.
I can't remember his
He's in
name off the top of my
Predator
head.
2. Predator 2.
Uh, yeah, I can't remember his name off the top of my head either. But
Oh, that's it. Because I always called him Ruben Blades.
Oh
but it's
yes,
not
yes,
Ruben Blades. It's
yes.
Ruben Blades.
Right.
I don't know
His
why I've always called him Ruben Blades, but
his
yeah,
stuff is crazy.
crazy.
Now
Yeah,
it's like McFarlane. Some of them are
it's well, yeah, it's like the
qualified.
Dimitri Young card collection. It's like insane what
Well,
that guy had.
Um, but Ruben Blades has
Yeah,
he has uh, a original Frazetta,
yeah, he
like
does.
like an
Crazy.
original Frazetta. I want to say it's like one of the ones with the with like what's her name, Jungle Girl or whatever, with the tiger or something like that. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I feel
And
like though when he was talking about his collection, he just bought what he liked and not bought what was great.
no,
And he
right,
just kind of happened like he's like I
it just
really
happened to
like
be
this
great,
and it just happens to be Frazetta. Like
right? And and
insane.
he also had he had one of I believe it's one of the original covers for Punk magazine too. The one where Lou Reed is Frankenstein.
Yeah.
So
Didn't he have a Tech 27?
he had a Tech 27 that was qualified.
Qualified. Who
Yeah,
cares?
yeah, he had a Tech 27 that was qualified, and he had some other giant book that was
He
qualified
did.
too.
I think he might have had he didn't have action, but he might have had Superman 1.
Yeah, something
It
along
was
those
something
lines.
huge like that. But yeah, he had some bangers and like you said, some original artwork too. That was like, what the hell?
Yeah,
It's just so smart to be so
sure,
ahead of the game, and not only that, to have kept it. Like he never found himself in a situation where he had to sell it off, or
right.
I mean, who knows now? He could have sold everything. Like Dimitri Young sold his entire baseball collection. He's like, I'm done with this. That was a moment in time. He had. Did you ever see his?
No.
You got to watch his YouTube channel. Not only did he have like all the great cards,
Uh-huh.
they were all tens, all of them. Like Yastrzemski rookie in a 10. He had the Mantle 51 Bowman in a 10. He had like, and not only that, they're all labeled like a prestige collection. They're all labeled the Dimitri Young collection.
That's crazy.
Like he was so ahead of the time as far as like collecting these banger cards.
Well, he probably would have gotten. I mean, he's of the time to be a high draft pick that you're getting a multi-million dollar
Yeah,
signing bonus, right? And
yeah.
then he didn't have a giant career, but a decent career.
He had a
So,
decent enough career. Yeah,
so probably making 30 million or so, and
he sold at the right time too.
it just depends on whether whether or not he needed it because that 30 million
Yeah, maybe. I mean, when
became a
you're
sports
retired,
card
it's not
collection.
coming in. He's not a coach. He's
Yeah,
kind of, well, actually, he is a coach, but a minor league coach.
sure.
I'll send you the link though to that YouTube video because that dude's
Yeah.
collection is insane.
What like about what year was that video? Do
Not
you
long ago,
okay.
maybe a year ago,
Okay.
I
Okay,
think.
so it would have been very recent when he pulled the trigger on selling those
Oh
too.
yeah, yeah. Let's see.
Been watching Rafal's videos. He's been picking off some great books on like
He has
Comic Geek and
been.
stuff
We
like
haven't
that as
seen him in a
well.
while.
Been really excited to see all those things he's been picking up. Run fillers, some bigger books that are kind of like in really good grades that you could potentially snag them, and I
Oh
think he's
yeah.
been able to snag them for really good prices too. Um,
This is one from 11 years ago, but it basically says vintage baseball cards in PSA 10 from Dimitri Young's collection. I hear it like the first card is a Thurman Munson 70 tops rookie gem in 10. It's crazy. I'll send you these videos though. But yeah, this video is from 6 months ago. $100 million card collection.
what?
$100 million card collection. It's crazy. He had a 9 Willie Mays 51 Bowman. I'm pretty sure he had a 10 or a 9 for the 51 Mantle. Like it's insane.
So when he would have been buying? He would have been a rookie in what, like 98? Is he around the same time as Delman Young and stuff, or is he before that?
Yeah, I think. Let me see. That's a good question.
Because I want to
Because I
almost say
remember him. He's definitely a late '90s player.
I want to say he's even before that. He's more like in the Scott Rowland 95 or just post 95, maybe with like
He's
Burrow or somebody like that.
50
It's like
years old.
97.
He's 2 years older than me. Date drafted '91,
Date draft. Okay.
and he played till 2008. So he definitely played for a while.
Yeah.
That's a good career,
Yeah.
and he played it right. That's for sure.
That's
hundred
incredible.
$100 million card collection. Yeah, there's like 4 videos. I'll send them all to you, but
Yeah,
it's
that's very
insane.
cool.
Just to see those cards, like you know how it is when you go to Comic Con and you see that comic in that condition, and you're just like, this is
Oh, that
just
I mean, that's one of
it.
my
Like,
favorite parts about the
yeah,
last 2 years.
yeah,
Going
definitely. When you go
this
to Heritage and you're like,
go
this is
go to
incredible.
Heritage, go to Comic Link, go to
Yeah, you're
go
like,
to
I don't see
Golden.
books like this.
And I love seeing like the full panel artwork too.
Yeah,
Um, I
especially the King stuff. It's so good.
I
When you
can't
got
remember
full page Kirby covers and you're like 500K.
what was who did that Daredevil book like that we were the Daredevil page that we looked at this past year. It's
Matt
like
Miller?
all still Daredevil's in like a lounge chair. Matt Murdock's in a lounge chair, and it's a full it's like 11 by 17 piece. I can't remember.
Not Miller?
No, because I think it's from the uh or not Midnight Suns. I think it's from the Marvel Knights run.
Oh,
So
okay.
um
Marvel Knights was
well you have what's his face doing the cover a lot, Mac doing a bunch of the covers, but I
Mac
don't
did a
think it's
lot of the
Mac cover too.
covers.
I'll have to look back. It's just so freaking cool to see,
Yeah.
like even that which is like not this iconic piece. It's like an iconic, portrait of Daredevil, and it's
Yeah,
just
I
cool to
mean,
see.
anytime sometimes it doesn't even matter who the artist is. When you see that level of talent on a page, you're just like,
Right.
wow, that's incredible. Just the line work and stuff. It's like when you see Wrightson, it's just like the amount of detail in that is just unreal.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can see it on this or not, but there you go. That's pretty
Oh,
good.
okay. Yeah, I know that cover. Is it a
Yeah.
painting?
Uh, it was, see, I don't know that you can see it enough here.
And that's not Assad?
It's Daredevil.
He didn't
It's
do Daredevil. Assad didn't do Daredevil.
Alex Maleev.
Oh,
Oh, it says it's a cover recreation. So this was at Metropolis.
okay.
Yeah, it's so bad. Hey, that's that's the thing. It's just so freaking bad. Like this was there too. That's like the original. What's her face? Oh my God, what's the stained glass character from Moon Knight?
Mi- is it
Madam something.
Crimson?
That's
Yeah,
that. That's the actual original cover.
yeah.
Uh,
Is it cut up?
Sienkiewicz cover. So it's actually it's the original art with still pasted up with his overlay on top of
Yeah,
it.
that's what I thought. It looked all like cut up with like parts, and that looks great.
Yeah, I
That's
mean
so
that's
cool.
so it's so freaking cool to see that. To see that is just so freaking cool. Moon Knight 14. So this has got to be from what 81 probably. Yeah.
Yep.
Uh, So yeah, it's just so cool, so cool to see that stuff. And then what's interesting though is like so much of that stuff is not beautifully framed, right? Like
Hmm.
you know, like I couldn't imagine this print that I got, right, not framed,
I
So
mean,
like
it is the what is it? The pièce de résistance. It's like
yeah,
the
so like
one
to
thing
have
that
that
puts it
stuff and
over
have
the
it not
top.
yet be framed, it almost
Yeah.
like I mean, I know the folks that have these things are consigning that stuff. Maybe they're framed at one point in time, and they actually say take it out of the frame. It'll be easier to sell if
Possible.
somebody sees their own vision to it too. But for me, I just think it's so cool. that's a big motivator for us to go to go to the Frazetta Museum this summer because I just think,
Yeah.
seeing the things in in the literal place where they were created, in in kind of the same environment as they were created,
Is he
like
from
uh,
just outside of Philly? I thought he was like a Pittsburgh guy or something like
no,
that.
he's in the Poconos, so it's
Oh.
yeah, so it's actually closer for you and Jimmy. If you and Jimmy and Chris, I think it would be like 40 minutes, and for me it'll be like 2
2 hours.
hours and 40 minutes. But from me, it's actually, I'm not even kidding you. It's like 190 miles, but it's like 4 or 5 turns from my
Mm.
apartment. Because you're
Yeah, it's a
literally just
straight go.
on Route 80 for so long.
Hmm.
Um, when I come to see you guys, I'm on 80 for I think it's 196 miles or something crazy like that. So it's very easy to get there. Well, that's quite the haul.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine a haul like that, ever.
Oh, that's I'm done for a while now.
Yeah.
That was it. Like I basically, except for like I said, I think I'm gonna try to get a Series 1 2024 jumbo case. That'll be like $1,000, which I have kind of set aside already from eBay stuff. After that, I think that's like I'm done spending a lot of money for a good while.
2024
Yeah,
series.
the tops just came out for this year. So there's
Okay.
big rookies. Ellie De La Cruz rookie is in there. Jason Dominguez, Evan, what's his name? Evan White, right? Isn't that the big rookie from Texas? There's a few others, but it's a good rookie class for this. So just to try to get some variance. I'm not, me, like I'm. If it wasn't for the channel, I would probably just try to buy more cards and less boxes and trying to like just
Yeah.
I just chasing the dragon. It's too much gambling for me, and I just would rather get the card than buy the boxes to try to get the card. Like
Sure.
obviously I have scored before. I've done pretty well on a couple things, but I don't know. It's just not worth it to me.
I mean, the I think we talked about it briefly last week, but the 7980 Peachy case is
Yeah.
up to 1.7 million,
Oh,
right?
it'll go over two, I think. Don't you?
I think so too. It is got
But there is a downside to that we talked about. You start
9 days.
opening everything up and grading a bunch of like nines and tens, you're definitely watering down the market. So
So
you're
it's a
devaluing the card by just you're better off selling boxes.
I honestly think that that's probably the safe bet, right? Because right now it's at 1.7 million, which is two million 40,000 with the buyer's premium already, right?
Yeah,
And so you're talking about 10 boxes, so you're already looking at about $204,000 per box.
10 boxes.
That's what it is, right?
Oh, I don't know. I would usually they come in cases of 12,
Oh,
but they are
16, sorry, 16
there's
boxes.
16 boxes.
And the O-Pee-Chee had 48 packs per box, and there were 14 cards per pack. So that's why each O-Pee-Chee box has way more cards in it
Now
than
it's not like the Jordan though. I don't know how big the checklist is for 7980.
it is not. It
It's
is
not
not
big.
that big.
Maybe 300
So,
cards.
well, whatever they said they're averaging. You would more than likely average somewhere between 27 and 30 Gretzky's
Yeah, it's like two and a half a box, right?
in the case. Yeah, something like that.
Depending on the run, you could get three, you could get two. You're gonna at least get two.
Where is the?
Just think though, out of all those Gretzky's, how many of those would come back at 10? Maybe two.
There's only two in existence.
I know. I mean, that's what I mean though. You're
Yeah,
doubling the census.
right.
I mean, there's a bunch of guys, or there's two guys with a OPG 10 that are like, oh please, let there just be nines in there.
So you have 10,752 cards in that case. Is what it is.
Oh my
And there's
god.
a 300 it's a 396 card set.
396.
Yeah, so each box has 48 packs at 14 per pack. So what is that? That's 480.
It's usually like 80% of the set. That's kind of what it.
This is
Except
way more than 80%, right? So 48 times 14, you're getting 672 cards in a box, and it's a 396 card set. So
so then you're talking one, maybe two Gretzky's instead of two, maybe three Gretzky's. This isn't like the Jordan where that set's really small.
well, right. Those are 132 card
Yeah,
sets.
so like
That's because
for
basketball's small.
386 a box for the Jordans, you're definitely looking at 2 to 3 per box. So Gretzky maybe, so 16. You're at least looking at 20.
Yeah, like I
20
said,
Gretzky's.
they're talking somewhere, I forget what they said, 22 to 27 or 27 to 29 or whatever it
It's
is.
such a gamble though. Like I wouldn't open them up. I just
Yeah.
wouldn't. I
Oh
wouldn't.
no. Could you imagine how nervous you'd be just to open them? I mean, it's funny if you're like
It was like L.A. Beast when he opens up his pack of Flair, gets a Jordan, gets so excited, spits on it, and then gets a 5 because he let his little spit bubble sit on there, and it ruined the card.
you know what it was? Ink distortion.
It was ink distortion.
It was ink distortion.
What a bunch of BS, man.
So, but yeah, I mean that's something that's just kind of crazy to see and just super cool, right? Like it's very
I mean,
cool
it's historic.
that exists.
That's like somebody just going in his attic and he's like, "Oh, I got a box of 52 Topps High Series."
Right.
And you're just like, I mean, there's no mantle in there, but you hit the gold mine because those cards, even the commons, are like $100 in low grade.
Yeah. It's so
Can you
cool.
imagine getting like a Gem in 10 Eddie Matthews? Holy crap!
Yeah, it just I mean it's crazy. It's
It's
crazy to
crazy.
think about.
Fun. It's fun. I mean, so we know that Baseball Card Exchange opened the case, individually authenticated every box,
box,
and
yeah.
then sealed the box, and then authenticated the case. So
Yeah.
like,
And the case itself is crazy. I mean, if you look at the
yeah,
case,
it's
the actual
beautiful.
box,
Beautiful.
like it's like a really nice cardboard box. You know what I
That's
mean?
the
Like,
funny thing, though. So the person, you saw that too, where the person the whole time thought they were sitting on a case of 8081
right,
until they
it was
opened the
it was
flap and saw white instead of blue, and they're like, "Whoa, wait a
it was the
minute."
guy's, I guess the guy's family,
Mm-hmm.
and it was in the attic, and I guess
It
so
wasn't in
many
the
card,
attic.
huh?
Was it in the attic? Because I saw the pictures. It was just in a room.
Oh, okay. From what?
It was in
Who
like
did
a hoarder room, and it was literally on the left under some things by a chair.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's I don't know if it was an attic or not, but
It could have been an attic space, but yeah,
I
still.
watched what's his face, Junk Wax Hero, and he was talking about it, and yeah, it's very similar to that.
Yeah, I love his channel.
He said there was like a ton of stuff stacked, and the family could not see this like behind the stack of stuff.
Crazy.
But apparently he had, I
He
mean, this
opened up
isn't,
and he had one that he opened.
and this is not the only rare stuff that the guy had either. It was just like
But it was
there's
all hockey, right?
it was all hockey.
It was
Yeah.
all hockey.
Right.
Is the guy from Canada?
Yeah,
He was Canadian?
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's nuts. That's, like I said, it's historic. That's like a guy, rehabbing his bathroom and finding 2 Action 1s in there. It's the same thing.
Yeah. Speaking of Action Ones, how about the well, not speaking of Action Ones, but speaking of great comics, how about that Heritage book that popped up on their channel today that I sent you earlier?
Yeah, that's the pedigree, right?
I don't know, but it's the only one on census 9/8
9/8.
Yes, the one I sent you was a 9/8. You see that?
Action 198?
No, 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 no,
Oh,
no,
oh,
no. The Tales of Suspense 39.
oh, yeah, no, that one is insane.
Yeah,
That
no,
is
I misspoke.
insane.
I said speaking of.
Yeah,
but
what
there was-
happened with that Action 1 that was getting auctioned?
That's not going into the auction till April. It's their signature
Oh,
auction in April. Yeah.
Like they need to get any more juice behind it. It needs 3 months of juice.
Yes.
Are you kidding? As soon as everybody heard about it, they're like, auction that sucker off. I want to see what happens. It's going to set the record.
Yeah, I saw. I mean, there's some people's channels that are like, I'm like, what are you crazy? Like they were making some dumb comparators about like, like this is like, well, it's a different market and stuff like that. I was like, it doesn't matter that it's a different market. It's the book in the highest grade. Like,
Yep.
period.
Yep.
That's all you have to know.
The only thing that you could say is almost on its equal level is Tech 27. It just depends
Right.
if you're a Batman fan or a Superman fan. They're both just as iconic, I think. They're on equal ground. Even though Superman's the first, I think people like Batman more.
Oh no, there's not a doubt about that. I just think it's just in general, like it is
It's the
the
one that started
impetus
it all.
of superheroes, right? Like so like whether or not you're even a DC guy at all, you should still have some reverence for the book
Yeah.
that basically started the concept, you know?
That's why FF1 is so much. It's like the starter for
Art.
Marvel Comics. I mean, that's it. And God, that book is just so out of reach now. Like point fives are going for like 20K.
Now, how many of those have you seen? Like how many of those did you see the years you worked at the comic shop?
Never. I've never
Not that
seen one.
many.
I mean, I've seen him at Comic Con,
Right.
but I've never. The only things, the biggest book that came through my hands was Jim 83. That was the one I almost bought it for like $1,500.
At the comic shop?
Yeah, he walked in. His uncle died. Gave him his books. He had no love for comics at all. I did end up buying some stuff from him. I bought first Madam Hydra, that great Steranko
Yep.
Hulk cover.
Yeah.
I bought that book. I bought a couple of other ones. I bought Journey into Mystery 100. That's a Magneto cover.
Right.
I did buy some good ones off of him. Henry and Ian got so excited about the book that he was just like, he balked at it. And he's like, oh, we're taking pictures with it. And he's like, oh, I guess I'm not going to sell this. I was like, I'll go to the bank right now. I'll get whatever,
Yeah.
2 grand, 2,500.
Yeah.
Nope, he would not. Something funny too is this was 6 years ago. I still have his number in my phone, and like every year I'll send him a text and be like, "Still got that book?" He never writes me back though. It's like
That's so
you
cool.
just see the text. It's like, "Still got that Jim 83? Still got that Jim 83?" Like,
You have an anniversary of the text when you send, like you put a message in your phone to text,
keep
dude.
trying. I don't know what he did with it. He's just not a comic guy, so I
Yeah.
probably either went to another store and got a higher bidder,
Right.
ended up at JC and he gave him 5 for it. Who knows?
Yeah.
I had it at a 4.0, maybe a 5.0 at the time, but don't forget this is way pre-COVID. So like, that book wasn't a whole lot. Like you can get a pretty high grade for 10 grand, maybe a
Right.
9.4 for 10,000.
Right.
Nowhere near what it is now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was the biggest book that came in.
Huh. Yeah, I always wonder, I mean, just some of the stuff you see, right? You know, that's why I am hopeful because I've already found great stuff,
Yeah.
like nothing to that extent, but I found pretty great stuff in odd places already, Uh, and I've certainly seen huge things in odd places. I mean, I've seen a Hulk 1 and a Hulk 2 and a Hulk 4 in
Yep.
a auction at a firehouse in the middle of nowhere, like I've seen that already. And I've seen a really nice giant size with a really nice 94, a really nice 95,
Yep.
96, 97, and 100 in an auction. So like at in a barn, like I've
Yeah.
already seen some of those things. So
I
uh,
had a friend of mine who, I'm not going to say his name just because I don't want to blow up his spot, but he was a recruiter. And what what he would do is he'd go to these kids' houses, recruit them for the sport. I'm not going to
yep,
even say the sport,
yep.
but recruit them for the sport, and then finish each thing with, "Got any comics for sale?" He got an FF1. He got an FF1 for, it was really low grade, cover off, but I think he got it for 7. And
Yeah,
he
but
even let him do it on layaway, so he
did
was
he
just
sign the
making
kid?
payments. How cool
Did,
is that?
did he sign the kid? That's the important part,
Don't
you
know. I haven't
know.
talked to him in a while. It hasn't been a while.
That's really interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I know those things exist, and
They're
you
out
know,
there.
and
We know they're out there because they
yeah,
keep popping up, and these stories keep happening.
yeah,
Whether it's sports cards or comics, but you know, like I said, it comes up in conversation a lot. Like sometimes these super collectors, sadly, they have to pass away
yeah,
for these collections to come to light. Like next thing you know, like once again, is a doctor who family doesn't know what to do with it, but a
right,
doctor passed away, and you find out he had a big giant safe filled with the mega keys,
right,
and nobody knew.
yeah,
Or they did know, but he was a collector, not a seller, so they just accumulated.
yeah. I think that's probably why I like American Pickers so much, and I know that there's a good part of that staged, and that part doesn't bother me so much because they these are real people. I mean, Jimmy and I had a customer who was actually on there and sold comics actually on
I
there.
don't think it's as staged as much as like the Storage Wars guys. Like
No,
that stuff is completely staged.
well, that's BS, right?
But like I think
This,
there's got to be some authenticity to the Pickers guys, isn't
oh no,
there?
there is. I mean, they actually buy those things like from
Right.
those real people.
Right.
It's not completely organic, right? Like
Yeah, right. Of
they know in
course. They know
advance
it's going to be there.
there's lots of pictures, like they
Yeah.
know they're
And
going
then
to
it's just a
highlight some of
matter of
these.
they can pull the deal off or not.
I am positive though that as they're walking through, some of the other stuff is really in real time. Like,
Because you
um
just wouldn't see the lengths that they go and the places that they climb. I don't think it's, well, maybe it is for TV, but I mean, they dig. I've seen them pull a short
yeah,
box out of a barn in the rafters. I mean, they're all
yeah,
waterlogged, but they're like, how much for this? It's
yeah.
like,
Well, interesting enough, the guy that Jimmy and I know who was on there, they bought an AF-15. They bought an AF-15 from him, and
who is your friend? Do I know him?
uh, owned a pet store in
No,
uh,
no.
in Gilbertsville, Pennsylvania. I'll send you the.
Is not the clean out guy who got the caps?
Nope, no, no, no.
That
I'll
was
I'll I'll send you the video. I'll send you the video because the interesting thing about it is they pan over his case in his trophy room, and you see the books they did not buy. And I think there's a Hulk one in there, and I mean they're all bangers, right?
yeah.
So it's really interesting. They didn't attempt to buy those things.
Was it Frank or Mike that bought it?
Mike bought it.
Mike. I feel like Mike is more into comics than Frank is. Well, Frank's
Yeah, and
not on the
then
show anymore, but
sorry for
no, it's all right.
Griffin's had a cold, and of course he's like the Tasmanian devil, and like
He just
does
gave it to
does
you.
not cover his mouth, but does that whap 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 all over your face, like so
That's good stuff.
yeah, so it's only a matter of time before you get some version of his cold.
Yeah, of course. It's just a matter
Uh,
of time.
Um, but yeah, it's a, like I said, you'll have to pause it when in the video when,
Yeah,
um,
definitely.
because you'll see just the bangers in the case. And the funny thing is like, oh, that didn't take long at
Is
all.
Jimmy not coming?
I don't think
I
so.
didn't see anything in the messages. Oh my god, are you kidding me?
There, Jim Dolph literally just said, "Is Jimmy not coming?" I didn't see anything in the messages
That's
like
crazy.
1 second ago.
That's crazy. Are you kidding me?
Are you
I
kidding
have
me?
I have this thing from my dad. He once told me I was in 8th grade. I was on my way to Washington D.C. Did I ever tell you this story? So in
No.
8th grade, I was on my way to get on a bus and go on our Washington D.C. trip. My dad pulls me aside. He's never done this before. And he's like, "Son, just do me a favor and sit by a window. I had a dream last night that you're going to get trapped." And I was like, okay, I will. I promise you, I'll sit next to a window. Later that day, I was trapped in the elevator at the Smithsonian for 5 hours.
That's crazy.
How crazy is that? That's insane. He just like had a dream, told me, he's like, as crazy as this sounds, I had a dream that you're going to get trapped this weekend. That's nuts. Sure enough. Trapped in an elevator at the Smithsonian.
That's not the kind of
No.
I had a dream in Tangled,
Right.
I got a dream.
And I had the same thing with Jimmy. Where is Jimmy?
You had a premonition that Jim was imminent. Jim was inbound.
How you doing, brother? Are you muted? You're muted.
Yeah, he's muted.
You silly goose.
There we are.
Now you got to say all of that all over again.
Jim, your
The
nephew.
girls, the girls just went down.
It was earth shattering, and I completely forgot what I said.
Jim, your nephew got me sick.
Oh yeah.
Silly
Yeah.
nephew.
I've been scouring the Adam Hughes non-keys on Key Collector, and I think I actually have some in dollar boxes. I just have to find
Do you?
find that. Yeah, he did like a cover of a Teen Titans like
Yeah.
Did he really?
yeah, and it was like from the 90s too. There's like four covers, and he did one of the covers. I know I have had one or multiples of that. I just have to find it.
Okay.
Jimmy, you'll appreciate this one.
Oh man.
First Judge Dredd.
Judge Dredd.
That is oversized.
That is a beaut, Clark. I love that. Just a little corner. That's it.
Dredd is so skinny.
So skinny. Yeah. He's kind of wiry. He's wiry.
He looks like a Don Knotts.
I mean, it could be.
It
Imagine
is
Don
cool, but how,
Knotts
like-
as Judge Dredd. That would be cool.
Young
Don,
Don Knotts.
Don Knotts as Judge Dredd.
They can do it with AI now.
Yeah,
I,
they could.
I like the idea that it's like the tough movie announcer voice though too.
Yeah.
Don Knotts as Judge Dredd.
Yep. Yeah, when that guy died, trailers died with him.
In a
In a
world.
world. I mean, you ever watch his documentary? It's so fascinating.
I mean, why are there not in a world?
It's so
documentaries?
funny though that he can go super serious in a world, and then he'll do like Turner and Hooch. Turner's just a guy who's just it's like wow. Yeah, I know.
Hey, I came across the top 10 reasons Madam Web's reviews are so negative.
I was thinking about going to because me and Nick Nick is off from school. I took off today and tomorrow. I'm thinking about taking him to go see it just because I got to see it before I shit on it.
Well, so far it's getting crushed by critics, but
getting
has kind of a medium scale viewer scale.
That's
So
kind
it's
of
like
where I want to see where Rotten Tomatoes is as far as the viewer votes versus
it's
the
80
critic
it's
votes.
18% listen, 18% for critics, 57% for viewers.
It's a coin flip for the viewers, huh?
And
That's because there's some good-looking girls in skimpy outfits.
well,
I mean, I would give it a thumbs up just for Sydney Sweeney.
James from Midhunter did a really funny 60-second review, which is mostly just why is the bad guy in the movie. He's like, but there are some good. He said there are some good parts, but why is the bad guy in the movie? It is very annoying too. Some of the press coverage they did with Sydney Sweeney and
Dakota Johnson.
with Dakota Johnson because they just look so clueless about comic books as a whole.
But I mean, my take though is that here is a story, and it's just skinned in spider characters. It's not really. It has
Okay, here's the
nothing
top
to
10
do-
reasons, and none of them are spoilers.
Okay. Top what reasons?
Top 10 reasons
Top
the
10
reviews are so
reasons.
negative.
Okay.
Okay. Number 10. So I'm going up there. 10. Can't touch the Avengers movies. 9.
That's not fair.
Tries to be a Spider-Man film, but isn't. Number 8. Cast has little chemistry. 7, kills any excitement for Sony's Spider-Man universe. 6, might be worse than Morbius. 5, dialogue has clear problems. 4, there is little to save. 3, Ezekiel Sims' villain is repetitive. 2, Madam Web's powers are barely used. And 1, seems like a setup for a better film.
Hmm.
Yeah, the one review I saw said that basically they just get their powers at the end of the movie, or that's like they don't even use their powers. Like,
But what are their powers? Like
I heard
Silk's a
there's an editing mistake where
Silk's a Spider Girl.
she plays a EMT, right?
Yeah.
They had an editing mistake that I was reviewed today that at some point she goes in to save somebody in this car, and when she looks in, she is in the car that she's saving.
Is that part of like? Does she have some kind of premeditation kind of
No,
thing?
no, they said it's just
it's
a
just a
very strange editing mistake.
But I thought,
continuity issue.
but I thought her powers is to see the future, isn't it?
Yeah, but she's in her EMT outfit. It's like the same instance, like she
I
was
have to see
in the
it for
car.
myself.
I don't
I'm sure
know.
it'd be obvious. It's kind of like seeing air containers in the back of a chariot in Gladiator. You're like, well, all right.
Right.
Yeah, interesting. I still, like I said, and kind of like what Jason said about the Marvels. Like I feel like I have to see it to have an opinion.
Did you guys end up watching the Marvels?
I'm going to. I
Yeah.
definitely want to because now that it's on demand, a lot of people are saying like, why did everybody hate this movie so much? It's not bad.
Yeah, the kids, my kids really liked it. I mean,
Yeah.
Lucy really liked it, and
Yeah.
she's a teenager. She doesn't like anything right now.
Yep.
So
I feel like it needs a watch. I just can't. I just can't. In
I
good
mean, I'll watch it
conscience
because
just-
it's a Marvel movie, but
yeah.
as far as Madam Web goes, okay, Venom 1, I didn't like. Venom 2, I didn't like.
But you know what? At
Morbius,
least you
I
watched
didn't
them.
like. So I'm like,
But at least you watched them because you're not just
I watched.
shitting on it because everybody told you to. At least you're watching it and you didn't like it. That's fine.
I just feel, just starting to feel the same way about Sony movies that I am
kinda
about
like
DC
Dune.
movies.
Dune, I did not like. But Dune, no, I'm just kidding. I thought it was just fine. But I've heard glowing reviews about Dune 2. I heard
Oh, yeah.
it's like not only epic, it's like an instant classic. Like I heard it's really really good.
what do we think about
And he's still saying he's crossing fingers that the third one will be okayed.
Who, Villeneuve?
Yeah.
What- what-
I feel like it peaks in 2. All the good stuff is in 2. He
Well, I
writes,
mean it does peak in two. I mean
yeah,
it's
well,
like
that's what I mean. It's all downhill from 2.
it's like at the end of two, it's like Conan when he takes the throne. It's like
Yeah,
it's like the character comes to a certain point,
but it's
and
like
then
a
after
2.5
that, the story
hour of sticking the landing. Like there's not a
after
whole
that the story doesn't just stay on Arrakis; it goes out.
Mhm.
So this
So
is
is
all the
Hart-
story on Arrakis.
Is the Baron dead in 2?
No,
He won't be dead in 2?
he will die in two, but he's not dead until the very end.
Oh, that I didn't know. Baron
Nobody
doesn't
ever
die.
dies.
Nobody dies,
Nobody dies anymore.
especially Baron. I just remember him floating around and cackling like a madman.
Well, that was in the other movie. That
was
wasn't in
Lynch.
the
Yeah, that was
Villeneuve
the
version.
Lynch movie.
He doesn't cackle at all in this version.
No. No, in fact, I love Baron in this one. I mean, Sarsgaard is awesome.
Yeah, Skarsgård is awesome.
He's really good, and he looks the part. Like I love when he just comes out of that bath and it's just like, oh, all right, I get it. This is it. This is a take. It's pretty cool. As much as that movie sucked.
Dolph still wants his money back.
No, I really didn't mind it. You know what I didn't like, and I was pretty vocal about it, was the every 5 seconds. Like, oh my god, that choir is just like, shut up.
What is that? Is that just
It's
the
the
back the
choir. It's
score?
like choir kids just
It's
in
like
the
the score.
background for every moment, and it's like then it ended up being like gong, gong. It's like this. It's like gong, gong. It's just close-ups of people's faces and the choir kids just screaming, and you're like, oh my god. It's like,
I get it.
yeah, it's all style, no substance. That was the last half hour for me. I was like, stop, please. I was like pretending I had to go to the bathroom.
Just blame Hans Zimmer.
Just looking at Jimmy, I was like, really? It's like blue eyes. Explain the blue eyes. Oh, he's breathing the spice now, so he's got blue eyes.
Hey, I just found another blank cover for my Comic Con.
Are you gonna get them done?
No, at each small con I've done thus far, a lot of people have come up and asked me if I have blank sketch covers because
Really? Because they
they
want to
want to
get
go get an artist.
commissions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this,
Who did Howard the Duck?
well, a ton of people did Howard the Duck. I don't think anybody, there's a couple artists at this con that will do different characters.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yeah,
Scott
it's
Hanna
Howard the
is,
Duck one. You can even do a Gwenpool cover.
that's true.
You're not even
Uh,
stuck with Howard.
um, Clayton Crane's at this con,
Yeah.
so
What are his
anything I
commissions
have
though?
spider related at all, I'm setting aside.
Yeah.
And certainly all the Crane books that I have that he did the great covers of. So I have a lot of those, actually, those great Punisher books and stuff like that. I have that whole Venom and Carnage run. So
Mm.
I'll have all those, excuse me, books set aside.
He's so
Um,
sick. Our
but
Jason is so sick. This poor guy.
You okay, Jason?
He's
and
gone through a
then
whole box of tissues. This poor guy.
Rick Leonardi's going to be there. So I have like 7 copies of Spider-Man 2099 one and
Yeah.
all his early Spider-Man 2099s.
Yeah.
Jay, I only see two Adam Hughes Teen Titans ones, and neither one do I have.
Yeah, the one is that got that orange border on it, Jim.
Jimmy, do you have like a spreadsheet that you're working off of?
Yeah.
Well, now the key collector has the non-keys too, Dolph. It's easy to do
Yeah, definitely.
because he could go by artist and then non-keys.
I
He only
think
did two
I don't
Teen Titans, number 75 and number 88, and they're both variants.
even in
They're both
CLZ.
they're
I
both
think you can
low
search
variants,
for
but they're not.
Hughes covers and Hughes interiors.
One is a 1 in 10 variant, and one is a 1 in 25
Yeah,
variant.
Jim. This is I'll have to send it to you. This is not a variant cover. Uh, and it might be listed as Titans or something like that. You know, Teen Titans goes by like 75 different names.
Well, they had the new and regular They had
Yes,
Titans,
yes.
new Teen Titans,
Tales of the
Tales of
Teen
Teen.
Titans,
Yeah,
Teen Titans, the new Teen Titans.
yeah,
Yeah, and like 3 of them were going on at the same time.
yeah. That's another one I missed out on. Goodwill this morning. I just missed it. It was First Nightwing for $16 with 20 other books.
What was it?
First Nightwing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, $16. With
No,
like,
was
it
it?
was Nightwing was in the corner. It was like 15 other or Titans books, and I was like, ah.
How was it listed as like a buy it now?
It was. They're all buy it nows on Goodwill Finds.
Okay.
There's Goodwill. Wait, what am I? I'm Goodwill Finds. And then
Goodwill finds is
there's
shop Goodwill.
Goodwill's shop Goodwill is the auction.
Yeah.
People have had some success, but yeah, didn't you say your guy was being accused of
Well, the guy I was watching was being accused of like
like stuffing his things, like they
doctoring
were
those
real?
things. Yeah.
Yeah,
Those are sports cards.
yeah. You definitely can't accuse me of that. I've opened up so many binders of crap. I'm like, there goes another $30. But it's fun to.
And
collect this
you've hit a
series.
couple home runs, right? Like
I
so.
have. So yeah, that's where I did get that one binder for was it like $19. I had 2 Mickey Mantles in it. One of them I had graded, came back at 3. I don't know what the other one was. Well, that's the one was in the binder right there. That was that All Star Mantle. That's a 3. Yeah,
That's really crazy.
that was in that binder. So hard to take cards out of there now and put new ones in. They gotta be good ones.
That's true. You're full. So
Good
what is
stuff.
the idea? Do you get a second case or do you just keep it to that
I
case? And
I don't know if I want to do a second case because I do want to put comics back here.
uh-huh.
You know, I mean, you can't really see. You can see that my Derek Jeter game used glove is right there. That was such a good deal. I couldn't pass it up. So that's Derek Jeter game used glove and wristband with an authenticated letter from Derek Jeter saying, "Yes, I wore this glove and this wristband." So like the
And a note from Derek Jeter's mother that said
yeah,
Jeter did wear that my Derek did wear that glove.
and from his mother saying, "Derek Jeter is my son.
Uh-huh.
I promise you." But either
And
way,
another
like
letter
a
from her that says,
Derek Jeter autograph is you can't get him for Steiner. It'd be like $800. The letter alone is worth more than I paid for it, and it's
crazy.
game used. Yeah, I went to some
Crazy.
weird show in like Parsippany. I was like, "This thing's amazing." He's like, "I know. I marked it down $100, and I'm shocked it's still here." I'm like, "I'll take it."
Joe, I'm sending you this.
Teen Titans, Chase.
Yeah, I'm sending
Teen
it to you right
Titans.
now. I'm sending it to you
Titans
right
what?
now, yeah. Team Titans. Yes. Sorry, that's what it is, Joe.
With Red Wing sores on the cover.
Yes. Yep.
See, it says Adam Hughes, and I don't.
Maybe he did the interiors.
Well,
Cover
look
doesn't
at the
look like
freaking girl in the top corner, Jim, the floating head. That definitely looks like he was there.
Maybe he just did a floaty head. I mean, that's happened before, where he just did like an edit.
It
You know,
says
like
Red
Ray
Wing
Severin
Origin
and the
variant.
whole cover, like she just did the face. I'll be right back. See, this is nice. I got Jimmy here. Now you can talk to somebody
I don't just have to talk to myself.
instead of just ad libbing.
Um,
You don't think that looks like that? That doesn't look like. I think that looks like Hughes. It's old Hughes, Jim. It would be old.
it says artist writer Adam Hughes, Kevin McGuire, Marv Wolfman.
So he typically signed the older stuff, Adam, and this book would be from '92. Hensler, Adam Hughes, Jim.
Huh.
Inker George Perez.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And that's the outside, not the inside.
I don't know if you are in, or if you're on Key Collector and you click on details, it'll show you issue details.
Huh.
Writer Marv Wolfman, penciler Adam Hughes, penciler Kevin McGuire, penciler Phil Jimenez, penciler Michael Netzer. So there must be multiple stories in it.
Hmm,
Yes, must be multiple stories in it.
interesting.
Yeah. So if you look at the variant, Jim, there's definitely not his work on those other covers.
Uh,
I'm back.
there's a Doctor Strange a fine art print signed by Adam unavailable on eBay, and there's just no way that I could afford it.
Well, I mean, if it's a Doctor Strange fart, though, like you, you know, who's to say it's authentic? You know,
It's a fart in a jar. Um, was there anything of any significance on top 10?
I don't think I even looked.
I don't think I
Let's.
looked either. I'm kind of I'm what is the word? I'm like melancholy about the list now. Like it's just the
I think
same.
you're just over it.
I'm. It's not that I'm over it. Like how many times is Dazzler gonna be there until? Is it
Well,
gonna
the top issue is
Deadpool?
FF1 Golden Record Report print.
Why that one? Because it's affordable.
Dude, a 2.0 sold for $600 of the Golden Record reprint.
I remember when that book was $600 for a high grade. Like even the all the Golden Record reprints were just fairly cheap, like kind of affordable. Maybe in a 9.8 be like $1,500. Like they weren't
A,
that
s-
much. The
a
ASM one was
7.0
never.
sold a 7.0 sold for 900.
That's not much of a leap to get a 7.0. A
What's
2.0
that?
is how much?
A 2.0 sold for 600 and a 7.0 sold for 900.
Yeah,
If you're
exactly.
you're gonna spend the money,
You might as well jump to the 7.0. That's stupid.
you might as well go up the next 10 grades to get to the 7.0. And then the second book is Avengers 57. So Vision is back. That's still
Why?
surprised. It still surprised me how cheap Vision is.
Very, very cheap right now. Very
An
affordable.
8.0,
8.0 for
750
750
bucks.
is a solid book. I remember
What?
that book was like during COVID was triple that.
It's also got to have one of the more baller covers of all the
It's a great
freaking.
cover. I remember I bought that off of Ian for $100. Mine I think is like a 5.0, 6.0.
Such a good cover. And then Transformers 1, which is so funny because Transformers 1, I feel like, is entering into New Mutants 98 territory where it goes like this. Like,
Yeah, it really
I mean, it
does.
just like, New Mutants 98 has stabilized for the most
All
part.
over the
It has these
place.
oscillations. Transformers 1 goes from like 1,200 to 600 to
Yeah,
1,000 to
so right.
300. Like, it's
So right.
crazy. It's
Transformers 1 doesn't know what it wants to be valued at.
Dolph, there you go. A 9.8. Now this book is from what?
I'm looking at
1984.
it too. Yeah.
The difference between a 9.6 and 9.8 is
Crazy.
almost 1,200 bucks.
Yeah.
And the difference between a 9.6 and 9.4 is
But we
$40.
also know that the paper is garbage for that book.
Yeah, it's very soft.
It's very soft. That's crazy, man. Yeah, but there's a lot of like why. There's no Vision news other than it's just being devalued. Transformers, there's no Transformers news. Well, that's not true because that what's his name? What is his name? Darren Waller Johnson. What's his name? I love him too. I should know his name. Daniel Warren Johnson. He's the one is the Power Bomb comic. I love his artwork. He's so
Okay.
And
good.
Rumble.
What's
He did,
that?
he did that Rumble book that
He
you
did that
gave a couple
Rumble
series
book.
of.
Yeah, I love his art. So he's doing the Transformers book right now, and his covers and he's just so damn brilliant. I love his art. Um, so I can see, it's only relevant because I think they're on issue 9 now for the Transformers run, but they're fantastic. But Iron Fist,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of bronze stuff here. So there's the Iron Fist. Then there's the Dazzler book, which that's gonna be the little engine that could. And then and then
9.8 for 1850 for that book.
yeah.
A Dazzler sold for 1850. I remember you can buy this book for like $50. Like this was not a big desired book. And we still don't know if any of it is true.
Yeah.
Imagine if Dazzler's in it and it's not Taylor Swift. This book is going to crash. It's going to burn so hard like you just threw away all your money.
I do
And
like I do like the idea. I mean, it is funny. Like it is funny how like it feels like, and this is not me trying to be disparaging to anybody. It feels like everybody got smarter, like we're not crazy anymore. But then something like this news drops and everybody's insane about Secret Wars 5 from 2010 all of a sudden. Why are you going to spend $40? Just go go the bins. Like just go to the dollar bins.
not to mention, why would it gain any value because it was in a trailer laying next to him in the dirt? Like it means nothing. And if you're saying it's
Easter egg.
a teaser for God Doom, you just bought the wrong book. Go get the God Doom book.
Right.
What are you doing? Because it's the book that I don't get it. I really don't get it.
Yeah, I just think that stuff is really crazy.
But it's just a lot of people that don't know what they're doing, which is why Man Thing 1 was on the list, and Ghost Rider 1 was on the list. Ghost Rider 1, it's like his 8th appearance.
Yeah.
Somehow is on the list. Like people, these, like I said, these nudniks that don't know comics just go like, I need number 1. I need Wolverine number 1.
Right.
You'd think that Hulk 181 would be on this list because that's his first appearance, but no, they all run the number 1. It's just, I got to get number 1.
Yeah,
It's just
the number of
uneducated
times
investors that are just buying the wrong book.
the number of times that you see um the number of times you see the people that have the freaking posts that are like lots of number ones. And I get it, right? Like there is good stuff to be had in number ones, but there's also like, you know,
But volume 5 number
right,
1?
the
I
20th
mean, there's
version of right number
3
one, right?
Cloak and Dagger number 1s. None of them have any value.
Right.
You know, it's like, yeah, okay, number 1, great for you. Like how many Moon Knight number 1s are there? There's only 2 that matter?
Yeah,
And not to mention, how does Madam Web make this list? Like, did you see the trailer? Did you think that this was a good investment? I don't
yeah,
get it.
9 8, I mean, $800.
Yeah, that's crazy. Now, Amazing Spider-Man 300 is like, when you look on, I think on Go Collect's number 10 modern books, it's like Spawn 1 has been number 1 for, I think, like 5 years now. It's like, of course, Amazing Spider-Man 300 should be on the list, but it's the most graded book ever. There's a ton of them out there, but it's a good book to have, and it should be on the top 10 list or a version of a top 10 list where it's just a perennial, it's there. It's always
Yeah.
there. Whether it's 1 or it's 5 or like this should be one of the hottest books ever. It's iconic.
Yep. Right. I mean, just the cover,
Yeah.
the number of times the cover has been
Yeah. I
homaged
mean, it's
is
a
great.
great entry level mega key that anybody
Right.
can start with that one.
Yep.
Like at any
Yeah.
level.
Yeah. I mean, like, if you think about it too, way better cover than
Yeah.
New Mutants 98 or
Yeah.
something like that, like, I mean,
And don't get me wrong, I like Wolverine 1. It's another iconic comic, but
yeah.
I remember buying these for $20
Yeah.
at, my wife used to have they used to have a comic convention by the hospital she used to work at. And it was for charity, and it was like a room filled with like, I don't know, 100 long boxes just in a big circle. And I was buying every time I went. I would buy another Wolverine 1 for like $24, $20.
Yeah.
This book just went to the moon.
Yeah, so lots of, I mean, it is a, this week is more of a who's who of like many things we've seen recently, that New Mutants 98's on there again, Wolverine 1's on there,
That
like,
8.5 newsstand did well for me. I bought that for $180. Now it
what's
just
that?
sold for 400.
Who?
That New Mutants 98. I bought the
Oh,
8.5 newsstand. I figured it was such a good price, and it was a newsstand.
it was graded already?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got nothing into it, and the last one just sold for 400.
Yeah, there is some significant price compression there for those
Yes.
books too. Like,
Yeah. Yeah,
difference,
8.5 sold for 400 and 9.2 sold for 430. This is
right,
why wouldn't you just upgrade to the 9.2?
100%,
You
right?
just jump what 4 grades, 3 grades?
A 6.5 newsstand sold for 275. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you could jump 7 grades for,
This is like where I wish we had the numbers. How many newsstands are there?
yeah,
I don't there can't be many, but I don't know, that book was printed a lot.
yeah,
So even if it's 10% of the publishing, they made millions of them.
yeah,
So there's at least, even a newsstand, there's 150,000 of them, 200,000 of them. It's not like scarce, but it's lesser. It's rarer than the main one.
yeah. I wonder if there's really like, though, is there really even a million of them? I don't know.
Of
The
98.
comics are not like even junk wax comics are not like junk wax baseball cards. There's not 7 million of them
Well,
made,
New Mutants was. I bet we
Like,
could look at that website and they probably could tell us
right.
because New Mutants was a hot book.
Yeah.
So that they're printing plenty of them.
Oh,
What
I don't
was that
doubt
website? That was really good.
that. I just mean the total volume. I don't think is in the same
Oh,
category as
oh,
like sports cards. Yeah,
no.
like because we know that what X-Men One is like the most. Is it X-Men One's like the most printed book ever or something like that?
Four was it 4 million?
Something like that. Yeah,
Something like that. Maybe it
yeah,
might have been. Was it 8 million or four
yeah. It
million?
could be. I think it's more than 4 million. Yeah,
Yeah.
but like um, just not the same stratosphere of bonkers numbers, right?
Yep.
Like I always think when somebody wants to talk about scarcity, you tell them like, just for example, the Donruss Elite cards are so hard to pull, and they're out of 10,000.
10,000.
Like,
10,000. I
and
pulled one.
they're like case hits,
I
and they're out
opened
of
up I opened
10,000.
up 3 cases when I was in the business and I pulled one Ricky Henderson out of 3 cases. Yeah, super rare. And I didn't even get I regret selling that card. I didn't get much for it. I should have kept it.
Um, Jimbo, there's a little tiny con out here the weekend that you might come out with
Oh
Eric.
yeah,
Yeah.
You still
I
got you're
would
going?
I would have sold it.
what's
Jimmy
that?
Jimmy might come out the next weekend
Oh, the
Yeah,
after.
the
weekend
following
after.
weekend. So the first weekend in March.
Mm. First weekend in
Let's
March?
see.
Yeah.
Oh,
Then the second weekend in March is Mocha.
what's Mocha?
The Mocha Fest?
Oh. Is that Asbury?
No, the independent in New York. The Independent Comics and Cartooning Festival.
Oh, cool.
So
So
this
I'll be working at that one.
so
Hmm.
this is from 2019. X-Men 1 sold an estimated
Yeah, I know it was
8,186,500
like yeah. I
copies.
corrected myself. I thought it was 8. That's a lot of books.
Yeah.
That's a lot of books. Now I wonder if they combine all the different covers and say 8. So it's what there's the three covers and then there's the is it a version cover? But there's the one where it's the pull out. So isn't there 4 versions of X-Men 1 or 5?
There's 4 covers and then one combined cover.
Right.
So
4 covers and the one pull out, right? Yeah, so there's 5. I wonder if they're saying like the 5 combined make 8 or each individually was printed 8. That would be crazy. How many Death of Supermans are there?
I don't know. This is a very interesting this is a very interesting article. I can't imagine it being accurate. It says the second most printed or most ordered book of all time is the Star Wars one from 2015 at just 1,073,000.
That can't be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because Action 1 was printed more than 1 million.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that can't be right. Plus, not to mention Spawn 1 has got like 4 million.
This is what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
not right.
understand.
Because
So
right out of the gates, Image was printing those things like crazy.
yeah, I can't. Uh, it's hard to get
Plus, you're doing it on your
really
phone.
accurate information.
Let me see.
Way to go, internet.
Stupid internet. How many Spawn 1s were printed? 1.7 million copies for Spawn 1.
You know what's crazy? There's some books that you just wouldn't imagine that were sold.
So this,
Batman 10 Cent Adventures from 2002, 702,000 copies sold.
yeah. So this is a good gauge. So Spawn 1 printed 1.7 direct copies and 200,000 newsstands. So that's 20% is newsstands.
What did
About
you say? 1 point what?
1 point actually no 1.7 million to 200,000.
Yeah, so
It's like
that's one ninth.
yeah, right. So right.
They have Marvel Comics 1 from 1939, estimated 880,000 copies sold. Star Wars 1 from 2015, number 7, estimated 1,073,000. Spawn 1 from 2092, number 6, estimated 1.7 million.
Plus the
Spider-Man
200 to 200,000 newsstands.
Spider-Man 1 from 1990, 2,500,000 copies sold. Superman 75, Death of Superman 3 million copies sold.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Uh, Adventures of Superman 500 from 93, 4.2 million copies sold.
That was the rebirth, right?
Uh,
Or was that
that
Doomsday?
that was no, that was just the reign of Superman storyline begins.
Right. So the whatever it was either Steel or the Kid or one of those, right?
And then X-Force 1 from 1991, 5 million copies sold. I think I own a million copies of X-Force
Yeah,
1.
me too. I got the other five.
And then X-Men 1. So I don't know where
You
action
know, it's
falls in
funny
there.
because somebody released the numbers. Like you would think Turok the Dinosaur Hunter would be right there, but I don't think it crossed a million. I think it's like 600,000.
Yeah.
It's a lot less than you think. But that was another one that was just printed like crazy. How many Turoks do I get? Every collection is like three of them.
Jimbo, did you talk to Eric yet?
I haven't talked to him on if he's going to come or not.
Okay.
He said that he was excited to, but I also know how interesting he can be a little bit. If he comes out with me, he'd probably want it to be a bros weekend,
Yeah.
like me, you, and him. But if the kids are there,
Well,
you know,
yeah,
we're going to be
that's,
doing stuff with the kids.
yeah.
So I don't know if that changes the way he looks at what the weekend could be.
Yeah, well, just figure stuff out. But what would he would come up to you, do you think, and then you guys would drive out
Yeah.
together?
I mean, I'm excited to spend the weekend with the three of you, so I don't mind either way.
Oh boy.
If there's a little con in what like
Dubois.
oh Dubois.
Dubois, yeah. I would have to take you to this little antique mall that's there. Just because I remember I sent you the three of you, Chris and Dolph, the picture of their vintage lunch boxes in the place. Because I think Dolph, you had said there's no surface inside, and I think you had said after I had left, like if there was a He-Man or something with the thermos, could
Yeah,
you check it out for
yeah.
me or whatever it was? But so I'll have to make sure I know if you're looking for something going in because it was like every '80s property was in there,
That's cool.
and they weren't priced that high either. It was like 35, $40.
Monthly comic sales. When was uh when was New Mutants?
New Mutants '98 would have been '91.
X Force 1 was number 1.
Oh my gosh.
Robin 2, the Joker Wild was the second most printed in 91.
How many? How many?
It doesn't say. It just says the price and the publisher and how many. It doesn't say units. Show entry.
It is really wild how that information is not available, readily
Yeah,
available,
they
you know?
just didn't. They didn't release it.
Yeah.
And this is basically like I don't even see New Mutants. Wonder Man 1 was up there too. Infinity Gauntlet 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, whatever. You can just do this all day long. So, all right, boys and girls,
Yeah.
we've had a good chat.
Jim, you'll have to send me a list of like stuff that you're kind of on the lookout for, or maybe just your updated lists. So maybe before, if I get my stuff set up early, I can go try and work the con floor a little bit and see who might have some Hughes books.
Yeah, the best thing to do, Jace, is to see if there. I mean, it's what I was looking for at Comic-Con this year, and strangely enough, I only found that one table that even had anything like it, which is the artist
Be
and
it
artist
artist, yeah,
boxes.
artist boxes, yeah.
And only that one table had it, and they had like Todd McFarlane, um, and like three other artists that I don't really follow at all. Like I've never
I just,
followed, and it was
I
a
just
very
like.
strange
I know you go
mix.
to Comic Con with a game plan, but I feel like it would just be so much easier to just pick them off of eBay for a couple of bucks, especially the low hanging fruit.
Yeah, the low-hanging
Instead of
fruit
trying to
was
hunt for them
but I'll
through
tell you
long
what,
boxes.
that one table that we went to last, Jace, is the first table I will go to next year. That is,
Was it
I
easy
can't
to
even
sort because
believe
he
that
had it
table.
labeled well, so it was easy to find stuff?
No, I mean they just had everything. Like
Yeah.
I went through everybody's stuff, all the big comic guys there,
Hmm.
and none of them had the selection. Like I went to, and Wonder Woman is just like Wonder Woman is one of the hard titles for me to get at comic book shops, at all sorts of stuff. I mean, I can get them on eBay, but
I keep looking on Goodwill for you because I swear to God, every week they list at least 6 Wonder Woman lots.
Duff, I went to that table and I was looking, and it was literally like yes, 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 and one after another, and
That
they
you
all had
needed.
them, and I was like, oh my God, like they
Yeah, because there was
literally
a couple tables who had some selection, but the prices were real high still.
That's what I feel like Jimmy ran into when we went to Big Apple. Like, he found that one guy that had a lot of Adam Hughes, like a lot of the Tomb Raiders and stuff, but he was very not overpriced, but he knew what he
yeah, they
had.
were
Like,
high
they're very
priced.
expensive.
Yeah.
They were
I
expensive.
mean, $20 for a Tomb Raider is a lot for just a Tomb Raider book.
Right, right.
So, I don't know.
Because you're buying the covers
You're
anyway, you know?
buying the covers, yeah. You're not buying. And is that Top Cow? What's
Yeah,
he doing? Right? So,
I mean,
yeah.
that's pretty much every Adam Hughes book is you're buying a cover.
Yeah,
yeah.
no, I get that, and I get that, he's got his rarer variant covers that are just like one and whatevers. Um, but I feel like you should be able to knock a lot of his stuff out for like the $5 to $10 range for some of these. Like I said, the low hanging fruit. I feel like you can find a lot of it on eBay and save yourself the agony of trying to find them in long boxes at the con, and then save yourself like the con for negotiating for the bigger ones.
Yeah, well, that's the other problem though. Like the books that he needs that are like $4 or $5, then he's got to pay $7 shipping to get a $4,
Yeah.
books, and he's at $11, and then, you know, if they're crappy pictures, you can't even tell if you're buying an
Yeah,
$11,
of
$4
course, of
book that's
course.
dinged, right? So
You
So I
know
have
what
to
I would
find I
start
have
with,
to find those sellers that have like a ton, like a huge stock on
and then just
eBay,
add them to your cart
and
and then
then
ship
yeah,
it
yeah,
out. Yeah,
and
yeah,
they'll
yeah.
give you the discount
I
when
mean,
you
who
buy.
knows too? Like, if
you
you
buy
did a
shipping.
search right now on eBay and just said Adam Hughes lot, but then you're gonna find a lot of the ones you have with the ones
Right,
that you don't have, so
right.
you're gonna run into that too.
Because I think that's what you were doing early on,
Yeah, I
right? You were
remember
buying
that.
a
Yeah,
Yeah,
lot.
you're like, I need that one book, but there's 6 others I don't, and it's like,
Yeah, I think it'd almost be better if you can find like obscure titles like Stargazers. If you could find Stargazers lot,
hmm
and that they're not denoting Adam Hughes, then
oh,
cool.
Erod told me that he has the rest of the Stargazers I need. So
does he? Reach out to
yeah, he
him.
was like, "Yeah, man, you just give me a shout. I'll make you a deal."
Yeah, reach out to him. He'd
He's
help
like,
you
"Yeah,
out.
I literally picked up like all the Stargazers the other day," and I was like, "Oh wow, okay, I'll hold
Richard
on to
is
these for a
saying
little
that
while."
he didn't receive a notice of tonight's chat. I don't know.
Huh.
I definitely got an email. Did you guys?
Yeah, I get the post.
I don't know. You might have had it pinged as spam or something, because I definitely got the email immediately.
We are pretty spammy.
We are spammy.
Spam a lot.
Yep.
Dolph, you have to let me know how warm you want it to be before we try and do some sorting.
Oh,
Um,
I definitely want to do this like Marchish, March
yeah,
and
well, that's
April-ish.
good. I was
Yeah.
just going to say if you're okay to do it in
Uh
March,
huh.
we'll have spring break and I could take like 2 days off or something like that.
Yeah,
So
I could
just
do the same. I could just take off for spring break.
coordinate like a couple days in advance, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Uh, so that we can um if I could coordinate a couple days or a couple weeks in advance so that you can take off too,
Sure.
then it makes it really easy. Like or if it's like 3 days or 3 days, 2 nights kind of a thing where we have a
Yeah.
good, 2 8-hour days to put in where
Man,
we can
guys,
So
really
much
flip through
work.
stuff.
So much work.
I'm looking at my list right now, and I'm starting to look at like there's not a lot of low-hanging fruit left for me.
No. I was
Well,
just
Jim,
wondering if like you had like a certain title that you had a lot of gaps that maybe you can pull like a lot off and then, like I need four and I don't need one. Like that would be worth your while.
yeah,
Like
there's
I
weird
think the
stuff
one that
like
I need the most out of as far as the runs go, that I could probably get good deals is like his really early stuff, and that's Maze Agency.
well, you still need some of the random crap like Justice League of Americas, right, Jim?
A couple,
He did like
couple.
14 of those or whatever. And then he did like a bunch of these like DC Who's books or something like that. And they're denoted on Key Collector, but I don't
Shit,
know.
I didn't even
Hey,
not
Jimmy,
those
there's a
offers.
lot of nine. Maze Agency 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 11 for $20. Do you need those?
Well, 11 he didn't do.
This is 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 11, and special one, whatever special one is. All for $20 with $10 shipping. He also is accepting offers, so you probably just say like, "I'll give you $10 or I'll give you $15." You'd probably take it.
So that's what we just talked about, right? He's not saying it's Adam Hughes, it's saying
Lot of nine, the Maze Agency. Do you want me to send this to you?
Sure, you can send it to me.
Well, I don't have to.
No, I just mean like
that's contrasted by Jim. This is Legends of
that
the
would be
Star.
if I had money to spend.
That's $20.
This is
I don't
contrasted.
have I don't
I
have
don't have
20
$20.
bucks.
This is contrasted by Legends of the Stargrazers 1 through 6 Innovation Comics Adam Hughes cover art. These people want $150 for Stargrazers 1 through 6.
That's ridiculous. This is exactly where I can't tell. That does look like Adam Hughes, actually.
What are you looking at?
That one is not, because it says it's something S. Mauer or something. That's number. I don't even know what number that is. Number 6? I
I
can't
mean, if
tell.
you're looking at any of his 1980s stuff, it's very hard to know that he did it.
Jimmy, I have enough with his modern stuff. I'm terrible at it. I just can't.
I
No,
just can't.
there's the first, the number. Oh no, that's number 8. Do you know which ones he did?
Which ones? Of what?
Maze Agency.
Yeah, Maze Agency. He did 1 through 10. He did 12, 13, 19, and then Maze Agency was done by Caliber Comics as well, and he did
He
number
did
3
1
for
through
that.
10. Oh, it does say Hughes. It just says Hughes. Hughes. It doesn't say AH.
The
Yeah.
only ones I have are, well, the only ones I have on here that I have on here is number 10 and 13.
Didn't you get one of those on your birthday, Jim, when we went to that place in
Oh, these are all Adam Hughes. It just says Hughes. That's why I didn't find it.
Yeah, Jace, actually, it was,
one of the
that
ones
was one of the ones I got.
that was up on the wall, right?
Yeah.
Adam Hughes. Look at that. That's number 1. Number 2, Adam Hughes. Number 3, Adam Hughes. Dude, this is only $20 from Michigan.
Yeah, I had to go through my box because I have all these Nexus the Liberators
When's your
here. I know
birthday?
I got them.
May 9th is his birthday.
You want this for your birthday? You need all of these. Hughes. That one is Hughes.
Oh, where are you seeing this line?
I need 4 Rose and Thorns.
Hold on. For me to send it to you, I have to redo my Google messages. I have to repair.
Oh, it's funny. This one says Maze Agency, and then it says Adam Hughes. Oh, Joe, this one's got a ton of doubles, though. That one is such a great cover. Number 10.
Yeah, this one's perfect for you, Jimmy. Like I said, he's taking best offers, too. I bet you can get it for another, like, $5 off. Not in the best shape. They're like, reader.
Oh, see this. Oh, this one looks better than that. Then this one is $30 with 14.25 shipping. It's 2 of number 1, 2 of number 2, 3 of number 3, 4 of number 4, 5, 2 of number 6.
You need
7,
doubles of
7, 10, 12, 16, and 21. But they look like they're in pretty nice shape. Yeah, these look like they're in really nice shape. Then Jimmy has a ton of stuff for his trade pool.
Nice. This guy keeps selling me offers for this Adam Hughes signed Boba Fett card. He wants $150 just for his signature. It's just a card. No thanks. Well, there's that.
No, thank you.
Well, thank you. American Pickers, Mike Wolf picks Amazing Fantasy 15.
There's a couple of Adam Hughes books coming out soon. They're not variants. I mean, they're not, but they're it's like Black Cat and Jackpot. I think there's two covers for Black Cat and Jackpot.
Really?
I mean, I'm sure that dude can do a Black Cat cover.
Yeah, Black Cat looks good. Madam Web, 18% tomato meter.
Yeah. What is it? 57% still for the audience score?
Well, it's up to 20% now? Didn't you say it was like
It's at 18%.
No, it was at 18. Yeah, it was at
it's
18.
still at 18. That hurts, man. I'm still gonna, like I said, before I shit on it.
Which is only 3% higher than Morbius.
Morbius was bad.
Yeah, Morbius was not good.
Morbius was really bad. I wanted to like it. Jared Leto is just not a likable dude.
No. And he's going to ruin Tron next.
He's so full of himself. Like, it's just, I don't know. He's just such a ego.
I like Jimmy saying, and he's coming after Tron next.
Yeah,
but
he's
now
good.
It's like everything that I love, he appears in. Like, even like that kid who does like the portraits on a subway.
Uh-huh.
And now Jared Leto appeared in that now. I'm like, oh God, I can't even like this anymore. He's there. He's everywhere. I was like, God.
You've ruined this kid for
He's
me.
ruined everything.
Way to go, Jared Leto.
Oh, Leto. It's like, what is that? Like, Billy Zane, the Zoolander. What's up, What's up, Billy Zane?
Why don't you let it go?
Do you know that the Deadpool Wolverine trailer became the highest watched trailer of all time?
What? I just got Jason's joke. It took a little while. It's really funny. What'd you say? What's the most watched trailer?
It's got the Deadpool Wolverine trailer.
Oh, yeah. Because they sent everybody to the website. It wasn't even during the Super Bowl. Like, go to the website now to go watch it. And I'm sure it exploded. I didn't watch it till the next day. And I was like, there's no Wolverine. Well, there is, but there isn't.
Right. It's just it's a silhouette, right?
Silhouette. Yeah. I'm sure trailer 2 will have him and whatever. But then I saw Screen Rant, I guess, did a breakdown, and they're thinking, like, Wolverine won't even make it until much later in the film. Like it'll be more about him and the Time Variant Society or Time Variant Agency and
I
how he can save the MCU. I think that's what it's going to be about. I'm all for it, man. I think it's going to be great.
Oh, I think it's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah, I can't wait.
If anything, it's gonna be absolutely hilarious.
Doesn't a TV show come out real soon?
Um,
Right?
What do you mean?
I thought like Marvel's got a TV show coming soon, doesn't it?
Well, X-Men 97 is coming out really soon.
That's coming out in March. I know
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Did you see the cool way they've done it too, where like
Yeah.
the animation is a mix of some
Yeah.
really cool computer animation they're doing now, but also like
Yeah.
the very much the style of the cartoon
It is
from
very
97.
much the style of the cartoon, just sharper. I mean,
And
it's
then the voices
they're
are
all back.
100%
Wolverine
like,
is like, I just can't wait to hear Rogue. Is Rogue or is Rogue new?
oh, you mean
She's
the
got to
whole
have
like,
that Southern
yeah,
accent, like,
hey darling.
hey da, like, and Storm too. I think Storm is OG because as soon as I heard her, I was like, oh, they brought her back. That's awesome. Yeah, I think I'm looking forward to that the most. I don't know.
And these Stargazers books are all over the place. Like
That you got to get a lot. That's how to do it. You got to buy lots.
the one where the guy is looks like he's spanking the girl, of course, is the most expensive one.
The
You know,
what?
there's one where like the looks like the dude is spanking the girl.
Oh,
That's of course the most expensive one.
maybe Chris has that one in his smut pile.
I was sending him a ton of smut lots that were on eBay the other day.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, if he can 2x him or 3x him on whatnot, I mean, why not? Go for it.
that Facebook group that I'm on Instant Collections, there
Yeah.
was like 7 lots in a row like that the other
Nice.
day.
Like I said, man, they're literally, I put them at the back, said adults only, and this guy was just like, yes. Like, okay.
He just takes out the books from the front that aren't, and as like
That's
takes the
it.
box with him.
He saw the tab and he's like, yes, please. I want them all.
I
What?
have a ton of anime books from a collection I bought, like not necessarily they're anime related titles, like from Dark Horse and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know.
I'm,
Yeah,
I'm thinking I might just lot those and sell them on eBay, like a 50 book lots or something like that.
sure.
Um, because they're like they're not first, like there's a lot of Comico stuff too, like not first run of Alita, not first run of Battle Angel Alita, but like second series and stuff like that, and then a lot of the titles fr- um
Did you sell
from
all your Akira stuff or did you save any of it?
no, remember I got that like that reader lot.
Yep.
And they were actually much nicer than readers if it wasn't for the fact that they had always been stacked, so there was like tons of color rub.
Yeah.
I sold them the same week I got them.
Did you? I
Uh,
know you did pretty good on those.
because I think I got them for $50,
We didn't
and
grade
I think
anything,
the
right?
lot went for like 147 or something.
It's good. 3x is good. I'll do that all day long.
Yeah, like I told you, I do.
I
I'm
give you a dollar, you give me $3.
right.
I will take that.
This is what I'm saying to you. Like maybe turning dollars into gold is my thing, right? Like because I'm trying to get
Yeah, I know what
level
you're
up.
saying. How it's a little, disheartening when you're sending in keys and you're just not getting the numbers you want. I mean, because when you're
Well,
talking about like I'm buying them for $50 and they're coming back and I can sell them for 100, a 2x is not really what you want to do for vintage keys. Like
right.
you wanna really do well on them.
I mean, I think I'll do really well in the vintage books once we get those back.
Yeah, I
Just
think there's I mean that Animal Man, if it comes back even a 5560.
yeah, I'm not going to do anything with that bad boy for now because
No, I'm
it's
just
like
saying, but that
yeah,
that will do well later.
yeah,
Even in the grade I think you'll get. But even
yeah,
your I don't know what your Manta and your Weathermaster will do.
yeah. They're going
Probably
to
in
be
the high fours, low fives. I'm thinking around. I feel like I feel like they just take those, like, not beater books, but like all of those vintage books. They're like, let's just give it a five or I don't know how many I had come back four fives and fives.
Yeah, I think most everything will be between 4.5 and 6.5. Everything that you submitted. Like,
Yeah,
I,
probably.
I think the Guy Gardner's probably like a six,
Yeah,
or could be a 6.5, I suppose. But like everything's gonna be in that range.
yeah, true.
Because they don't have really bad defects. Like they're solid books, they're complete. There's no big chips, but they have like the general
Just their
wear and stuff
general
like that.
wear is
Yeah,
a color breaking crease here, just a
yeah,
slight one in the corner, or just
yeah,
some like white where there should be color, and
yeah. That
yeah,
stuff.
like
Yeah,
you said, just like typical wear for a
60,
80-year-old book.
yes, 60-year-old book. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So,
yep, is
all
what it
right,
is.
boys. Well,
Yeah,
that's
thanks
that's it for
everybody.
us.
There's
I guess Dolph, I'll have to keep posted to find out if I'm gonna like drive out there to pick up any books next week before the con or anything
yeah, like I
like that.
said, if it's really last minute, I'll either meet you halfway, we'll do dinner or something, and
Yeah.
we'll figure it out.
All right.
I'll definitely make it
Oh,
worth it
just
for you.
on a closing note, I saw the weirdest trailer this week. I don't know if you guys saw it or not, for a movie called Sasquatch Sunset.
I saw it.
I did not see
Jesse
it,
Eisenberg.
but now I
It
want to
looks
see it.
great. It looks so good. It's
I'm
just
like, okay,
it's like they're all dressed up as Sasquatches,
it's a
and
Sasquatch
it's
movie, Jace.
literally like a family of Sasquatches.
It's a family Sasquatch
Who's the
movie.
girl? I know Jesse Eisenberg's the dad. I forgot who the girl is, but
I don't know.
it's
It sounds
ridiculous.
bizarre.
You have to
It's
go seek it out. It's funny.
it looks bizarre.
Sasquatch Sunset.
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
And it doesn't have a good director too, right? Doesn't it?
Yeah, I think
I gotta
so.
look.
Yeah, it's a pretty good director.
I thought so too. Sasquatch
I think it's I
Sunset.
think it's produced by Ari Aster too, or
Yeah,
something
that's what
like
I
that. It's some
thought. So
weird
director is
combination.
David and Nathan Zellner. Jesse Eisenberg. Oh, maybe there isn't a.
Dang. All you have to do right now
Oh
is
yeah,
get to
Riley Q, which is, or Q, is that how you say? That's Priscilla Presley's daughter, right?
Riley. Yeah. What's her
However you
name?
say her last name.
Cohee or whatever her name is.
Yeah, however you say it. So her and Jesse Eisenberg are like Sasquatch parents.
Wait a minute. Has this been released already? Well, how does
No,
it have a Rotten Tomatoes rating?
no, not that I know of. April
77% on
12th.
Rotten Tomatoes.
But
It's higher than Madam Web.
it could have been part of like the I mean Cannes is first, but it could be in one of those festivals that people got an early peek at it. It looks ridiculous, but it looks amazing.
Yeah, 77% on Rotten Tomatoes
Yeah, it's awesome.
out of 22 reviews thus far.
Bleecker Street Films.
It's really funny because the stuff that it says you might also like based on clicking on that, it's just like movies that got crushed for the most part.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like
Also,
if you like
although
this, you
it
may
does
like Morbius.
it does recommend Suicide Squad, the good one.
Oh, that's
Uh,
good. I love the good one.
that's a funny one. That's got a 90% tomatometer and only an 82% audience score, like a higher tomatometer than audience score.
I
Really?
love that one.
I
I
love the
watch
new
that
one.
one a
I
lot.
love the new one. Except for I did not like all the Harley Quinn stuff. That's the part I hated the most.
Yeah, the whole
Dream
her and the
sequence
leader.
yeah, I hated it. I thought it was ridiculous.
Yeah,
Peacemaker ruled the whole movie.
I
And King
do
Shark.
I don't like her like as I like Robbie, but like I don't know something that's a little too cheeky about the Harley Quinn stuff. I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. But then again, I have a really strong feeling I'm not gonna like Lady Gaga's version either.
Oh, I don't.
I'm not looking forward to that at all. And it's like one of the most anticipated movies of 2024.
I don't think I'm gonna watch it.
I have no interest
I
in it.
haven't made it through a second time watching Joker.
I only watched Joker once. It's
Yeah,
I
hard.
still
I
I
watched it
still
in the
don't
theater.
I still don't really understand why they're pursuing it because as we've talked about before, whether it's kind of a uh, you know adjacent to the actual Joker story, it's not a comic movie, so why would you make the follow-up more a comic book movie
But
with.
like you said, the word cheeky, it's more of a cheeky the first one is very serious. It's about
Yes,
a
that's what I
guy
mean.
who's going insane.
That's what I mean. It's
And
not.
now you're going to turn it into a musical? No.
That's what I mean. It's not
What?
a comic book. The first one's not a comic book movie.
No, it
It's
is
a movie
Especially
about.
since the director said after the first one, I have no intention to make a
right.
second.
Even Phoenix said he's
Even
like, I'm
Joaquin
not doing a
Phoenix said it.
sequel to this.
No, this is a standalone movie. It's
Yeah.
blah 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 blah.
And Lady Gaga or the Gaga says she wants to start singing it, and you're like, yeah, let's do this. I'm like, no, I do not want the Gaga. No interest.
No Gaga.
No Gaga.
No, Gaga.
No Gaga.
Please, please, Gaga. No, no more Gaga.
No Gaga.
Please.
No.
All right, I didn't mean to start a whole
That's
other
a good
conversation.
Sasquatch
one,
Sunset.
man.
Well, I know
Sending
exactly
us
what
off
I'm
on
doing.
Sasquatch Sunset is
As
a
soon as we get off this call, I'm going to watch
good,
this
gotta
trailer.
watch it. It's so crazy. I love that though. That's like right up my alley. I love people just trying stuff. Like at least
I hope this
at least
is.
it's a try, something different, you know?
I hope this is half as good as the new Geico commercials with the caveman talking about making a documentary
Yeah.
about being apologetic for the caveman commercials, only to find out watching his wife with his wife that the documentary is really about the
That is
Geico
the
gecko
most meta thing ever. Very
for an
meta.
insurance company too, like which is
Yeah.
the best part about it, you know. So,
If you're still watching, tap that like button.
all right, kids.
Do it.
Yeah, yeah, hit the like button
Hit
for
the like
God's sakes.
button.
Gotta get these
More
numbers
people
up.
will find us, and we will
Yeah.
talk about the Gaga.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
All right.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
All right. See you, everybody.
Night, everyone.
Night,
Later.
Jamo. Night, Dolph.